there's no anger, aggression, or hatred towards other people about it. It's just something that I've just now finally have the certain amount of fucks to even conversate on. Um, it's a very simple topic, and it's
I'm trying to make the gamma
basically,
in me useful.
hold on,
They definitely look hostile.
master volume. We'll lower it to like 54%. It's power scaling. It's power scaling. It's gonna be a boring discussion, I know, but I just simply want to talk about like not just power scaling specifically, but how people view the world around them with the materials. So like the biggest culprit of this is tier list. If you look at a tier list, the Incredible Hulk
I'm
is like one of the strongest, if not the strongest tank besides Doctor Strange, right? Good movement, good damage, bubble for protection that can like avoid like ultimate stuff like that at times. He has a stun that makes you not exist on the escort cart. Ranged attacks. Oh no way my headphones are low. Is the other one charged? Please tell me the other headset is charged. Please. Hold on. Hold on guys. Hold on. Just give me a second. Gotta make sure I can plug in the headphones so we can talk. Where did I put the fucking plug in, bro? Oh, this is tragic. This is so tragic. Because I just wanted to get this over with. And I'm saying get this over with because there's generally like a... I can't charge my headphones and talk at the same time. Maybe I can plug them in. Let's see if this works. Oh yeah, this came with the headphones, isn't it? Yeah.
There's gonna be a fight.
Hold on. Just give me a second. And the reason I say get it over with isn't because like it's a drain or a burden. It's simply because I want to talk about this because it applies to literally every game that any human has ever touched. Because it's not about playing or character design specifically. It's about the mentality of the players and the thought process. Because I know there's a lot of good players out there that truly understand like the logic behind, like they just understand the basis of everything they're dealing with, or at least for the most part have good fundamentals. I can hear. Let's unplug this. I can hear the sound. Can I be heard? Let me see.
Enemies ahead.
Testing. Okay, I can be heard, but we'll turn it up. Uh, max volume. Okay. So, what I'm talking about, to make a long fucking story short, Taylor Swift bullshit. You need to let yourself be free and stop following whatever YouTuber says. I know. This is the classic criticism that everyone makes. But you have to understand something. The YouTuber is also a person who has their biases, who has their missing like information. And on the fundamental level, everyone should be able to understand and come from the perspective that I am. That even though a character is strong, doesn't mean they're overpowered. Don't get me wrong, creators of games create monsters of characters. There's characters who are genuinely not okay, right? Like, objectively, like, things just aren't fair. But then there's certain characters who, on the surface, seem underwhelming, uninteresting, and go, well, it's a pretty, like, standard character. Yeah, it's just a good tool. But then when you look at their, like, kit as a whole, those minute interactions of that one part of the kit makes it, not okay at the top level, or hell, even at like the bottom level for a certain character. Even if it's to the point of like just making it an unfun interaction between the two. So, I guess an idea what you could say is Moon
gosh, you
Knight,
got
right?
me. Just
Not always in the right direction.
3 taps to the head, right? Will reward you for headshots. Has a little slicey tool. And let me see. Because I don't play Moon Knight, guys. I don't play Moon Knight. It doesn't reload for you, but like it's just there for like damage ramp up. So like his normal cycle of shooting you to the body with perfect aim, 4 bursts, he hits headshots, it's 1 less burst, right? Oh, actually it's 2 bursts if he hits you with headshots. So with this character, let's say someone had aimbot, you're done. And you barely get time to react. But the way it's balanced is that you have to aim. It doesn't matter how fast he can burst you if you can't aim. But then you have to think there's people who can aim. And then there's movement, stuff like that. Obviously, it's a basic understanding of like balance. But what I'm saying is, in a situation like, I don't know, where someone just gets fucking melted, you would go, how is this fair? Because from your perspective as the Lunar Snow, you just got yoinked, and then you died. Trust me, like, everyone's gone through this where a Moon Knight throws an unk at your feet, and then they just cook you, bro. They just fucking melt you. And it's not a situation where, like, you really can do much offensively towards the Moon Knight. You just have to react. It's a reaction test. And do I think it's annoying as fuck? Yes. Does it, like, bother me when I die to it? Yes. But at the same time, pull up the scoreboard. There's a Moon Knight. I get yoinked. Movement option. You know it sucks, though? Here's the thing. In my opinion, I think the Moon Knight Onk pulling you in towards the center kind of, like, it helps Moon Knight in the sense of, look at the radius. It keeps you within that radius, so he can apply his damage and you just don't, like, walk out of it easily. But I think you should be able to walk out of it.
On your toes.
And I know Moon Knight's probably either considered, like, a mid-character. Because all the characters that were considered strong in the beginning, like, let's see, Scarlet Witch was considered strong with her auto-tracking, right, and her stun. Moon Knight's considered strong. Iron Man's considered strong because it's ultimate and like stuff, right? Like everything at the lower level where everyone's like, yeah, that guy's super strong, Mr. Fantastic. All you hear from the higher end people is like, yeah, that character gets fucked on. Like you're not pulling off a maximum pulse without a bubble or some type of like ultimate. You're getting stunned because everyone's so ready and so like tuned in to sound cues that when they hear something like
time to drain.
That yoink when a Moon Knight is in your lobby instantaneously tells you it's Moon Knight. Get out of there. So if you're someone like Wanda, you face, right? If you're like, let me see, where's Spider-Man? Spider-Man, you get yoinked. You did. And even then, you would need a faster sensitivity so you can just go and just dip out. Like if you're on the wall, you get yoinked, you might get fucked, but like the point is the pull itself, knowing you didn't make that movement should alert you that someone's affecting me in a bad way. Get out of there. I'm not sure what characters like. So like, for example, if I'm playing Cloak and Dagger, if I get Moon Knight onked, I just have to walk to the side and hope I don't die in time. Because I'm pretty sure you can outburst a Cloak and Dagger bubble in Moon Knight. I'm saying pretty sure, but I'm because like you have to think about it. You're reacting to the action. So he throws the thing, you get yoinked, you have to immediately look down. He's already hit you, I bet, with an onk by the time you get this down. I wish I had someone to test this with. And if that counteracts it, okay. But then you have the sidewalk.
Get ready. Here come the bad guys.
Like, the sidewalk out of it after being yoinked to the middle is the problem for me. Because there's not enough time to go to, like... Because even if you react instantly, right? The time it takes in order to kill someone with a Moon Knight on is insanely fast. Right? This may not seem that fast, but you have to count, like... You have to factor in reaction time. So that first burst is free. The second burst is like you're walking to the side, you're getting second burst, and if you don't make it out by the time the like third one hits, it's gonna auto track you outside the circle. Like you're going to get hit. Like I believe truthfully, once you step here, Unk like should stop hitting you. It should just stop hitting you, like completely.
Get up.
I'm not talking about like, oh, my foot is out here. I mean, you like should be fully stepped outside. One like, cause there's a thing where I've seen clips of Spider-Man where someone throws this at an Unk, and Spider-Man's swinging out, and it follows him. They should be trapped within this like cylindrical barrier inside. They shouldn't be able to leave. And you're probably wondering, what the fuck does any of this have to do with what you're talking about? It's all balance. At a higher level,
Please, can we discover
someone's
Aunt May's cherry pie
dipping out of
collection?
this. But also, at a higher level, someone on Moon Knight is still cooking a support with it.
I want the enemy to see me.
The only difference is that like people are better at using their tools. So a high level Moon Knight, like the world's best Moon Knight player, probably is definitely not gonna be doing like the green rank, throw a Moon Knight Unk at someone's feet and spam this all game. This is all I see from Moon Knights at my rank. This fucking sucks. I hate this. Because when you die to it and you watch the cam back, or hell, you die to him once and you die to him again, you know that this Moon Knight player is the type of person to just...
Strength.
And don't get, like, here's the thing. I'm not saying the idea of throwing an Unk at your feet as a defensive tool is a bad idea. No, it's a good idea. It's just that bots cling to it. They cling to it, and I die to it. Yeah, I'm a Moon Knight hater. That's simple. I fucking hate Moon Knight. But that's besides the point. So a character like Moon Knight can be considered strong at the lower level because he can just delete you before you realize, right? And if you're a semi-decent player, you're getting melted even, like, they're melting you even faster, right? But his ult's genuinely good. There's nothing I can say. His ult is just good. It's just a good ult. It's just a good ult. Killing through, like, I think Invisible Woman's, right? With a buff, you can probably kill through Luna Snow's. But, like, everything else, his movement, okay, right? All of these are genuinely good tools, and I'm not calling him bad. I'm probably placing him at, like, mid-tier on, like, effectiveness. But that's where we need to, like, reach the tier list discussion. What does it mean to be mid-tier? As in, like, from the best of the game? That's where we're ranking it? So that creates a situation where we're creating a relationship between the current character and theoretical character models that can change. Or, like, let's say we take it to current patch. Who's the best character in the game versus, like, the worst character. But then that doesn't work because, like, best characters might be tanks because you get to lead the momentum of the game. So let's say best DPS to worst DPS.
I am the light in the darkness.
Okay, does that mean, like, because it's like, oh, I'm playing Moon Knight, I'm mid-tier, you know, and I won the game, I'm the greatest. No, like, that's not what that means. So, like, a tier list for Marvel Rivals almost doesn't make sense. It's just the format we do things, right? A tier list in a fighting game, for example, Tekken, denotes who's most likely to win a matchup purely on tools and strengths alone because it's a 1v1 and the factors completely nothing in besides, like, character strength. Like, it's not internet, it's not player compatibility, it's not player strength, right? Because compatibility matters. If you're not into Yoshimitsu, playing Yoshimitsu isn't going to be as fun. You're not gonna understand, well, even if you do understand, there's gonna be moments where you don't finesse as someone who likes Yoshimitsu. You're not going to I keep saying understand, because you can mentally understand something but not be into it, and it, like, that not being into it causes a disconnect. For example, there's moves on Yoshimitsu where enter him in a crouch. You know what that means? You can thread an unblockable low from that. I know if you don't play Tekken that doesn't make any sense, but, like, unblockable low is one of his main tools that really forces someone, like, into a situation. So, like, there's several moves you can do that enter you in a crouch, and every time you do it, you're threatening to give them to combo them. you're threatening to like get a combo loop into pressure. So they have to look out for it. In which case, if they ever do decide, alright, I'm gonna act, you can do a counter hit launcher from crouch. Or you can simply do a Wild Rising move that leads to a combo that is way too much fucking damage.
This was Khonshu's will.
Right. And like that's the main point. That essentially tier list works for characters in fighting games. Or hell, like they work in fighting games or they work in other contexts because they're isolated and not like a group thing. And let's say everyone's in the same skill level. I'd say a Moon Knight versus, like, how can I put this? A Moon Knight versus a Namor isn't losing. You can be like at the highest peak level where all the minute, like, even then, like, Moon Knight shreds Namor. Namor has his drones out. They're like both weak. Namor bubbles, his healer gets him, Moon Knight dips back. Or if he has the cloak and dagger thing, he dips around a corner, gets healed up by the like puddle. You know what I'm saying? So hold on, let me get myself hurt first. And again, I'm the highest rank I've achieved so far is Plat 1. Yeah, that should be enough. It's Plat 1, right?
I found them.
So, at the highest level, I can't truly speak for all of them, but I can speak from a logical basis of, like, standpoint. At the highest level, I understand, like, someone like Hawkeye may not seem strong, but he's insanely strong because of the mechanical skill of everyone there. So, if I find... Here we go. So, yeah, this heals Moon Knight, and he's invisible. Sure, you can just AoE splash him to reveal him, but like the heal alone is big because now he's back into the fight. In fact, he doesn't have to leave the fight. He can just dip back to a distance where... Oh, no. He can just dip back to a distance. Oh, I'm ass. There we go.
Shrouded by moonlight.
He's shrouded, right? He can just maneuver. He's still invisible while getting healed and still damaging you. So a good Moon Knight will fucking shred you from this little hidey thing. Bad Moon Knights are gonna position this anywhere the fuck they want. Alright. But that's generally the point. Alright. The matchup in this game, don't get me wrong, for certain characters does matter. But at the end of the day, if you are good at the game, you will do good. If you are great at the game, you will do amazing. Every character has insane potential either through damage alone or through utility. Perfect example, Spider-Man. If you don't know how to play Spider-Man, you essentially are like feeding. I'm not gonna lie. If you do know how to play Spider-Man, right, you have the highest mobility character, fastest character in the game, who literally speed blitzes other teams. Like, you can do 300 damage almost immediately and get out. And it's a very strong character, and I think the way he is now, he needs a little bit of work, a little bit of tuning, just for like downtime purposes, but I think it's kind of a like a live or die situation. If you're a bad Spider-Man, or you're a Spider-Man who isn't necessarily understanding, or you're impatient, you get punished almost immediately for doing so. Right? Right? You get punished. You have to like understand where you are in the game and who you're playing with. Celestial Spider-Man are insanely fast, their mechanics are insanely good, but they still understand, hey, this is a top 500. I mean, like, this is like one of the world's best fucking Hela. I'm not approaching her from the front. I'm not even in the air like this. This is easy targets for fucking Hela. You have to understand who you're facing. You have to understand the tools you have. Right? So for a character like this, you can still do decent damage, but because of like the way they're designed, where their strength is movement, speed, and agility, you get countered a lot. Now, if you look on a tier list, right, and let's say it's a tier list made by people who are like admiring Plat, they'll probably say something like, oh, I've seen crazy videos of Spider-Man, right? he's really A tier. Like that nigga's so strong. Like he's so fucking good. But you look at anybody else, they'll probably play some mid because his damage output is so conditional. Because there's so many ways to counter him as far as like throwing down a cloak and dagger bubble. I don't know, running away. Like, okay, the running away is like a meme, but like, if you're in a group of healers, like if you're 3 healers, Spider-Man is probably having a tougher time killing you than like anyone. Like even a tank, a solo tank, like with a Groot, I'll take that 1v1 any day. At least at my level, right?
Pretty
So-
sure those are bad guys.
Hold on.
This kitty has been declawed.
Hugger, right? Big hitbox, very bulky. I can drag over here pretty easily, right? To me, this is easy because I get to speed blitz him. He can't, like, as long as I'm like maneuvering, fucking with his camera, like, he dies. A 1v1 in a group with a Spider-Man with enough room to move, Spider-Man wins. Unless Groot puts up walls and starts attacking, like, I can dip out when I see the walls. I have to attack from behind. Like, I can win, but I have to play it smart. Like, I have to, like, play it well in order to win. I have to outplay him. Alright. Sure, it takes a little bit, but I can do it. So that means I can effectively do something like, let me see if I can pull it off. Kidnap him from his team. So now they're down a tank. If this is their only tank, now my tank is to walk their like team down, and I'm over here fighting him, right? Just dealing damage. If he turns his back to me, it's effectively free damage. I get to just combo him. If he tries to fight back, I get to kill him. Like if he tries, nah, that sounds fucked up because he actually can fight back. But if he gets to fight back and it's a 1v1, and I have enough room to work, alright. See, like, now he's about half health, right? If he doesn't fight back, he dies. If he does fight back, that's more time because I'm going to be wasting his time. Listen, my goal, sure, I want to kill him, but my goal is to waste his time. In a, like, top 500 lobby, the Groot gets kidnapped, he might try to kill you, but at some point he's just gonna go, no, I'm not doing this. Or his Magneto, or like his Hulk, or someone on his team, his healer's gonna go, oh, that nigga just got kidnapped? Let me at least go try to save him. Let me, like, unless I literally carry him far, then otherwise, you know what I mean? Like, I would have to bring him far out. There we go. I would have to carry him far out. Like, all the way out there. And then take an ISO, which is possible in Spider-Man, but it takes, like, high mechanical skill to do. And, like, that's the thing. This character would get ranked mid, lower in mid, not due to, like, not because his movement isn't too good, like, his movement is bad. Not even because, like, in theory, he can't output damage. It's purely because, like, for example, Winter Soldier is a devastating matchup in my opinion. Winter Soldier is one of the strongest characters in the game as far as DPS, right? His kit is.
Fight for the good guys
Dead.
next time.
just dead. Just tag, punch, tag, uppercut, tag. He's dead. He's only 250 HP, I think. Let's see. Yeah, 275. So, like, he's not that healthy of a character. The biggest problem is that Winter Soldier effectively feels like a 400 HP character sometimes. Sometimes, bro. It's like, if you don't kill him fast enough, hell, even if you are doing your job,
Cracks a whip. Yeah.
he can be hard to kill. Because here's the thing. If you don't know, Winter
I
Soldier,
was rebuilt to be a weapon.
all his abilities
I'm the one who pulls
give
the
him
trigger.
overshield. Or give him like bonus health. Right? All of them. All of them. On top of having a pistol that like
Nothing personal.
deletes people. So what that means is that when you have one of like the world's best fucking Winter Soldiers, and they're being pushed by Spider-Man, and they get pushed from the front, if the Spider-Man is not smart, he really could just get interrupted from like after the uppercut, get hit with one of these into this. Because you have to understand that there's a certain mechanic
Stay
where
down.
if wait it, you can punch an enemy up and then use their body as a ceiling. I canceled it. I don't know why I did that. You can use their body as like a ceiling, right? Because when you're like armed and dangerous hits a roof, you can come down immediately. See?
Dangerous.
You can punch them up above your head and then immediately come down. So even if they don't have their ult, right? Because you're like, oh, that's just with ult. If they don't have their ult, they can still just interrupt you. I've been grabbed by Winter Soldier. I've been punched out of my basic combo, and he's been one shot. And since everything gives him bonus health, and I've used like my basic resource, now I have to dash towards him and melee. One of the highest damaging characters in the game, I have to dash towards. So that means I literally have to speed blitz him and then kill him. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's possible. I'm saying at my current skill level and like skill levels around my level, right? Fighting Winter Soldier is a fucking pain. And I wonder if it gets any easier at higher end levels. But notice what I said about these two characters. I didn't say, oh, Winter Soldier is strong, therefore Spider-Man is weak. I didn't say Winter Soldier is strong, therefore Spider-Man can't exist in the game. No, I just said you have to play differently. Because at the end of the day, the basic 2D structure of tier list really does remove any like semblance of three-dimensional and complex ideas from the game. Saying, oh, hell is in your lobby, you can't play this character, may indeed be true at the top
Sure
level.
those are bad guys.
Sure, like it may be such of a an oppressive force due to how good the characters are and not knowledge that you genuinely can't play a certain character if you want to win the game.
Fight for the good guys.
Does that mean you
next time.
can't one trick and still like do decent? No. Because the problem that I've seen for the most part, and this is essentially like the thesis of the video, people's comparative structures when it comes to like how they like when people compare a character and want to put them on a tier list, they don't compare them to what is good. They don't compare them, like, let me repeat that. They don't compare them to what is good in the sense of what is good for a character to have. We can look at Spider-Man objectively and be like, these things are good. On paper, these things are good. You can pull people off the map if you're good enough. Oh shit, hold on.
Pretty sure those are bad guys.
I think you have to web cancel that. You can pull people off the map if you're good enough, right? You can kidnap people. You can... Fuck, I missed. You can kidnap people. Your ult reduces pretty much like any tank to half health, can kill any like healer. You know what I mean? Like, I keep fucking up, I'm gonna stop. You have crazy movement, like best movement in the game. You can wall run. All of these on paper sound very good. Except you have to think about the reality of it. How does it work? He has to use tags in order to get you, right? Don't get me wrong, still good. But I can't get you from here. That's where the movement comes in. Now I'm over here. And you're like, okay. What about his uppercut? It's AoE.
Watch out, they're headed our way.
I'm not hitting you from here. I have to be here. I have to be near you. I'm not just uppercutting you from fucking Jerusalem. It's a small AoE where I have to be right next to you. Meaning, if I get back here, this is close range combat. I have to be close. From here, I die.
Fight for the good guys next
From
time.
here, see how like I'm standing next to the bot I just killed, and I'm not affecting this
Tagged him
guy.
with the spider tracer.
6 meters away, I'm not hitting him. That's because it's AoE, but a close range one. It's meant to pick people up, to tag them. So like, where it'd be like, oh, he has an AoE punch that lifts people, and like it stuns them too, kind of. Brother, one is not even a true stun; it just lifts them. And 3, most importantly, because that's 1 and 2, by the way, the
Pretty sure
first one.
those are bad guys.
The damage it does is minuscule unless you're tagged. And guess what? I don't think I'm going to have a Spider-Man run through the field, tag, tag, tag. They only last 5 seconds. So he would have to tag, let's say, 3 people in under 5 seconds and dash in the same 5 seconds in order to do enough, like, to even capitalize on a punch up on all of them. A personal suggestion for me would be like, his ultimate at the end of it, if you're still alive, you should be automatically web tagged so he can do an uppercut for extra damage and like kill everybody there. That would be what I would do. But then again, that could be not the design intent for the character. He's a hardcore diver. Like, he's purely dive. Purely dive.
Now I gotcha.
His whole thing is dive. Like to the point where, like, if there's a Namor in your game, and the Namor is half decent at placing turns,
Pretty sure those are bad guys.
it's like
And stay down.
kind of unfun. I'm not gonna lie. At my level, where Spider-Man are having like, still dealing with fundamental issues, still like not the best, still like don't know the best combos, tracking isn't so good. Namor completely shuts us down. At the higher end level, I'm not sure if that's the truth either. You know, I've seen posts with like, oh yeah, Namor isn't a counter to Spider-Man. And sure, maybe if like you get the skill enough to be fast enough where it's like, okay, right, do your combo, pretend that kills. For me, Namor's drones hit me up here. I get hit literally swinging in the air, on the ground, during my combo, and on the way out. Like, the whole time. With Namor not even aware that I exist.
Pretty sure spider sling.
Do I want Namor to change? I don't. Listen, I don't play the character. I'm not gonna tell other people's characters need to be nerfed. Right? I can say I don't like Namor. I can say Namor players are scumbags and they ruin my games for me. But I'm not gonna ruin their fun by saying like, oh, well, let's remove his fucking character. Like, in a serious conversation, I'm not gonna do that. Because think about it. Imagine how many people think the same thing about Spider-Man, or Winter Soldier, or Hela, or Hawkeye, or Black Widow, the Hulk, Doctor Strange. Literally, all these characters are from stories that we care about and like. We want the characters to be strong and feel fun to use. There's no point if they're not fun to use. It's just that simple. There's no point if they're not fun. That's why, for me, in my personal opinion, I'm not playing no more. I'm not putting turrets down and sitting around. But you know who would enjoy that? A guy who has great aim.
Crack the whip.
A guy with amazing aim will simply just go, yeah, Namor's perfect for me. You know, I can
Pretty
auto
sure
tracking
those are bad
turrets.
guys.
I have great aim myself because Namor has great damage, and if he gets pushed, he can simply just go, all right, well, I'm a bubble now, and then just leave. And if he's playing next to his healers the way he should be to help them, then guess what? He's getting healed immediately. I'm dead here. Alright. So yeah, like, what I'm trying to convey is don't compare a character to other characters when you want to determine whether or not they're decent. And I guess in a sense, tier lists aren't purely that. It just feels that way with every discussion from like anyone I've ever talked to that like wasn't in my immediate friend group. like some like random person in a lobby. Like I have a friend in Diamond, right? And he said it's literally just a bunch of
Watch
like
out, they're headed
kids,
our way.
or well, we're all grown adults at this point, copying like YouTuber opinions, which is, I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch YouTubers, I watch Necros, and like that's pretty much it. As far as like, and even though I watch Necros, I don't actually care about his opinions. That sounds fucked up to say, but like, why would I? Sure, when it comes to Spider-Man, he has a valid like standpoint. He is the world's best Spider-Man. He knows the character in and out. But from what he's able to achieve with Spider-Man alone, I like. You can say he needs slight buffs, but I don't want to see Spider-Man get like. I want to see him get stronger, but I feel like the reason I'm hesitant to say that is because you have to understand that this is more complex than he's mid-tier. What is holding Spider-Man back? One, kills. He has to work. He's single target
Watch out, they're
DPS.
headed our way.
He has to put in work to get his kills.
I don't want to hit you more
Then
than I
he's
have
low
to.
HP, 250. He has to swing out.
Don't mess
His
with
ult
the
he can be
amazing
stunned out of.
Spider-Man.
And he needs high accuracy to do most of the cool things he wants. You could be like, oh, but the tag, right? Tag him automatically brings you to him. Yeah. Look, this 250 bot still has health left. You know what this means for a Cloak and Dagger? She lives. And if she lives, she goes to cloak form, phases out, drops out with a fucking bubble. This is what I'm talking about. You literally have to play this correctly. You have to. You have to play it correctly, or you're doing nothing. It's an all or nothing situation at Spider-Man. See? Cloak lives. If there's another healer, she lives. Do you know how many situations I've been in where a Sue Storm goes, you know what? I don't feel like your ultimate's gonna be useful today. She puts up her stupid fucking barrier, and I don't get kills now. My ult useless because my ult is being out healed by a tactical. And I can accept that my ult isn't meant to just purely kill, you know. It isn't meant for that specifically. It's like utility. Reducing the half health, combine it with another ultimate, they die for sure. Maybe you could solo ult a healer if they're solo, or like maybe solo ult like 3 squishies if there's no healing capability, no ult or anything like that. You can force out ults. I like all of that. It's a complexity to the game that makes it more interesting.
No webs needed.
But we can't deny that Spider-Man's ult literally can be countered by Cloak and Dagger Bubble, the shield from Sue Storm, can be stunned, can be phased through. And that's the story for a lot of ultimates in the game, and I'm not bitching about it. I'm just saying
Pretty sure those
this
are bad
character
guys.
is pretty weak in some aspects because his major aspect of what he's strong in is so good if you're like a good player. Another example was Black Panther.
No true king makes decisions only for himself.
Black Panther can
Fast, guide my spear. Victory belongs to
delete
Wakanda.
supports. Like, delete them. If you are not paying attention as a support, a Black Panther
That's
will
3.
murder you.
Wow. 4
If your
in a
tanks
row.
aren't paying attention, a Black Panther will literally murder you right next to your tank.
6 in a row.
And then dip out.
Way to go.
Good Black Panthers, even though because there's a bunch of like no reg issues that was happening. I wonder if they fixed it. But like good Black Panthers are able to dip in and out from a fight, like in the confusion. Your team's fighting, they come around a corner. Black Panthers, in my opinion, are worse than Magic mains because when they sneak you, it's literally a sneak. Like Magic, you'll hear the sword swipe, and she'll stick around for a bit. Black Panther's purely just,
Fast, guide my spear.
and then he's gone. And guess what? Since he's killed you and he's hit his dashes, he's not being hit. He's not dying. He's gone. He got the support. That's all he cared about, and he's gone. At the very best you'll get is like a dash, support's dead, tank solo, dash.
I am your king now.
Oh no, let me dash. Knee before battle, top health, kill.
You dare
Like he's softening you up for the rest of his team there. if you're killable to a Black Panther and he's decent, you die. There's counters, obviously. Moon Knight throws onto at his feet, interrupts their like momentum, cook him. Tanks can bubble. When someone's bubbled, you know, even if they're marked, your dash doesn't count because it hits the bubble. So you're stuck there with only your spin kick for movement, and you better pray you didn't use that. Like, auto tracking aim could also help. Jeff bubbles, like there's so many interactions in the game that make it cool because like you can like play your character, and if you play them well and intelligently, you can kind of counter some of the dive characters. Like Magic's extremely strong, and you can see like he's a 300 HP character who gets overshielded. Magic is similar where she gets overshielded for attacking, but the difference is Magic's movement is far better than him. If we wanted to rate the characters, rate them,
If you see my brother,
how would you do it?
tell him I miss him.
Would you say Spider-Man's worse than Magic? You can say at diving, yeah. But what if like everyone's scattered? What if you're a Black Panther or a Magic? Everyone is scattered
You have to feed them sometimes.
and you can't reach this guy. Like everyone separates because like, oh, Magic's attacking, fan out. Then, like, what? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess in truth, no one's fanning out to deprive you of your overshields. They're just gonna like die. They're just gonna get hit and be like, oh well, whatever. At least at the lower levels, I have no clue what's going on at the higher end, right?
This war is bigger than one life.
Double kill.
And you could be like, well, that invalidates your video idea because what tier list or for the higher end? Yeah, problem. We're not. No, seriously. Tier list are for One Above All and Celestial. It's that simple. That's why when it's like they make a tier list for quote unquote for low ranks, your rank,
Enemy ahead
it's
of us.
different. That's why so many characters get shifted around. Because it's not an issue of balance or game balance, it's an issue of skill. It's an issue of like, what do you know about the game
Just a little
and how
step.
quickly are you able to act off that information.
Double kill.
That's why all the characters like Hela, Hela, Winter Soldier, where is he? Hawkeye, Black Widow, at the higher end,
Spies know that truly
even though their
achievable
kits
people
are
rare
like,
and
even though their
dangerous.
kits are relatively simple, right? You can say that these characters get a boost simply by the player, like the player level. So at the higher end, a Black Widow is more likely to hit a headshot on your support and reduce her to 1 health. And guess what?
Doing it the
If they
old-fashioned
were
way.
already hurt before, they're
Boys,
dead
here
now.
they come.
They're more likely to hit their shots. They're more likely
Kill.
to kill.
Target neutralized.
And if we go over to Winter Soldier, right? Headshot, basically 1 shot, right?
You can
So if your supports aren't doing their job, a Black Widow at a Celestial level or a One Above All level
Wow.
is just going to delete them.
Another one bites the
A good
dust.
headshot, fight's over. This Winter Soldier, out of nowhere, is 1 HP, doesn't realize it, its healer doesn't realize it, and now he's dead.
Yes, now, Bucky.
That simple. A good Black Widow changes the fight, because you can pick off healers from a safe distance, right? And hell, honestly, if you really wanted to,
Another one bites the dust.
Double kill.
like a Black Widow with insane aim, who's comfortable enough, can really just like
Airstrike.
walk you down.
Focus, here they come.
If you push a Black Widow with good aim, and they see you on the come in, strike,
Double
dead.
kill.
Like from back here, if I see someone coming, and I hit them with a body shot, right? If they get to me off that body shot, and I hit them with the kick, they die.
Strike.
Like it's not a question.
Another one
They
bites
die.
the dust.
Because Black Widow's kick is a stun into a free shot. And the only weakness of it, because listen, it's a kick that pushes you back, right? So you really can, if I wasn't trash, I'd hit him. And then you can pull him back into a stun, into another hit.
Neutralized.
In fact, you can really just go body shot, kick, pull in, stun,
Double KO.
body shot. Or you can do like
I spy some bad
Kick.
guys.
oh, but I'm so bad at that. Hold on, let me let the timer in. We'll do it on him. We're doing Winter Soldier. So you can like the only thing holding back some of the characters that are considered weaker at the lower level is skill. Kick, hit, pull back in your stun, headshot.
Bucky.
Or because this is also an option,
Double KO.
just headshot him because the kick does damage. The kick does damage.
That's 3.
So if you get head tapped, it's over. Like it's over. You're done. Kick him away, body shot, pull him in. You can swap instantly into your melee, and that person loses the fight. And guess what? You're back in it. And you're gonna be playing distance anyway, right?
Double KO.
Oh no, someone's here.
Fight is lethal.
That's 3.
Like, oh no. And this is what it feels like at the higher level when like people are good.
Wow, 4 in a
They're like
row.
the margin for error against sniper characters is so low. That's why people wanted Hawkeye nerfed. Because when you're one of the best players in the world, hitting a headshot on a moving target becomes so much easier. Right?
That's 3.
I have to leave my shots more. Hold on. There you go.
Wow, 4 in a row. 5.
Like,
That's amazing.
Please give me a
and even if you don't, like the body shot damage is insane as well.
6 in a row. Way to go. Unbelievable.
That's why like having a one-shot character or having like snipers in video games like Call of Duty was such a big deal, because the best players in the world with best reaction time and best aim essentially get to do whatever they want, because even at 2 HP they can just turn around, flick, and you're dead. And since you're dead, your team is down a member. And when you're down a member, when you have someone with this good of aim,
Please give me a
your team gets steamrolled. Like, sniper characters, you ideally would think, oh, they're going to be in the back, and they're going to be playing support, weakening targets, making them softer. Sniper characters in video games are often the ones doing the killing. If they're the good ones, at the higher level, they're the ones doing the killing.
My arrow?
That guy's dead. I'm missing. Back to this guy. Half health from one shot. And like the thing you need to think about, this is why I play games the way I do. Mentally, the way I think about, oh, I spawned in the wrong. I did the wrong way.
Please give me a chance.
Mentally, the way I think about it is, I don't refer from character to character. I refer from like real world strength to world strength, if that makes any sense. Like, people have a certain reaction time. People have a certain like psychology. People have a certain skill set. People have a certain like mindset, right? So what that means is someone may not understand what's going on with Spider-Man, right? They just know they got yoinked. They're just fucking yoinked, right? They just got grabbed, right? And now they're in a fight and they die.
Good guys next time.
At the higher level, that understanding increases. They catch on, they know what's going on, and they know how to counter, right? They're ready for it. Just like the Moon Knight situation. They've played the game enough, they have an understanding enough that this motion, this jaunt, they react to it. They don't react to the sound. The motion alone indicates to them Moon Knight's here, right? You can catch people off guard, don't get me wrong, but like, better the player, the more prepared they are to just go, oh, nah, and dip out. That's why, like, if you watch team fights in like the higher level, it's like no one's dying because everyone's playing their cover well. Everyone's understanding the limits of their character and what other people can and can't do. Right? Good players choose not to die. It's that simple. Good players choose, hey, in this situation that could get me killed, I'm gonna choose the option to get you not dead. And they play off that.
Stay down, will ya?
Now, what I was saying before is, if you think about, like, you learn the game through the character you pick. I chose Spider-Man and Black Panther, two dive characters, right? I started the game off as a healer. Of course, I chose Cloak and Dagger, easiest option, immediate option, plus they're just a cool character, right? As a healer, I understand, hey, I have to keep healing. If I stop healing, that person dies. It seems simple, but let me repeat it again. If I stop healing, that person dies. So if I stop healing, my tank dies.
Woohoo! No webs needed.
I'm gonna say it one more time just to get it clear. If I stop healing as the healer, my tank dies. There's constant DPS being cranked out against my tank. If I, for any reason, stop, his health drops too far below for me to pick up on.
Down, will ya?
Now, if he's smart, he's playing cover, and he's allowing the other healer or me to, like, catch up on the damage that was dealt, and then he's peeking back out to deal his, see if he can get a pick. And we're basically playing this little dance of cover and, like, poking until we can get a confirmed kill and start applying more pressure.
No webs needed.
What I'm saying is that as a healer, any interruption to healing can lead to the death of my tank. If he's hurt,
Pretty sure those are bad guys.
this may not seem like a lot, but this is a lot. This is a lot of health to be missing. If he's hurt and the healer stops healing him, he will die eventually. Of course, Hulk has many tools to survive, but the point is he will die eventually. So who gets targeted the most? Healers. Who gets walked down the most? Healers. Because they're the ones holding the team together. Hulk steer the ship, healers roll the boat. Alright? I mean, tanks steer the ship, healers roll the boat. And DPS make sure, like the ship, you know, doesn't get invaded. Or, like, they go... Basically, imagine, like, you're pirates and you're trying to board another ship, essentially. Someone has to man the sails and make sure everything's steered correctly. You know what I mean? So, Hulk steers, the healers make sure everything's going well. They do the orders, and then DPS goes stabs the other guys. It's that simple.
Those are bad guys.
Right? Every character in the game has some sort of way to make the healer stop healing. Either that through damage, stunning, or just like overall being annoying as fuck. Right? If I do this to a Mantis, she could probably still heal her tank. If I do this to a Luna Snow, she can't heal her tank. She literally cannot heal her tank.
You'll be
Like,
alright.
I need you to understand, Luna Snow is an aim-based character. If I am annoying enough on Spider-Man, Luna Snow cannot heal her character. Cannot heal her tank. Because she has to aim. Even though it's hit scan, if you don't hit your shot, it doesn't work. Jeff could do a bunch of healing. Right? But the difference is, he's the scariest fucking character. Like, this thing a bitch, man. Like, let's think about it, bro. You can hit a Jeff 3 times. He's diving. But, of course, he's going to come back up, heal. So, you just keep annoying Jeff, and he's going to stop healing. Same thing with Rocket Raccoon. The difference between Rocket Raccoon and Jeff is that, like, Rocket Raccoon's orbs operate independently. So, can I not? They operate independently. He tosses a couple orbs towards his team. You're trying to attack him. He gets to a wall. Activates slow fall. Keeps healing him. Dashes up to the wall again. Runs away. Activates slow fall. Activates healing. And of course, the healing output for this is a bit slower than, you know, if he was just holding down the heal button. But he's keeping himself alive, which is an important thing for healers to do. And I know it sounds small, but you being alive is, one, a DPS increase. You can't deal damage if you're dead. 2, it's a heal increase because you can't heal if you're dead. Even though I'm technically not healing when I'm running on the wall, there's points where I stop to heal my tank. And that little bit of healing could be the difference between him dying instantly and the, like, line falling apart, and, like, my other healer not being able to pick up the slack, or me keeping him alive for the other healer. Like if it's a Jeff and Rocket Raccoon and they're literally right next to each other, it's some of the hardest people to kill. Don't get me wrong. Like when it comes to like defensive ultimates, you would want one of those. But if you have good players on your team, or hell, the other team's just ass, the combo can work. Because, like, what are they gonna do? Try to kill me? I heal myself by healing others. Movement's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for those two characters, the story's different. Adam Warlock, one press of a button, heals his team.
Darkness.
Right?
I will gladly be the light.
As Spider-Man, you can try to kill him, but, like, the goal, really, for me, would be make him waste his, like, you want to hit him enough times, get him low enough where he has to go, alright, I'll just heal myself. And if he heals himself twice, or he heals his team and then he heals himself,
I tend to lost souls,
he's out.
Like a
He's out of
shepherd
heals.
tends to his flock.
He's just a DPS character at that point. He can soul bond everyone to do, like, take less damage. But once he's out of the heals, it's over. Hell, even if you want to play this way, let's say it's a Cloak and Dagger and Adam. You make him, he sees soul bonds, you wait it out, and then you make him waste his heals, right? Target the Cloak and Dagger. Because he can't heal, he's just a DPS. Or target the Cloak and Dagger until you're able to target, like Adam. Now, in a perfect world, they're probably going to be standing right next to each other. Right? They're most likely going to be standing right next to each other. Now, what is all of this shit you just said mean? The general concept is that the characters' ideas are essentially the same, but they do it differently. Even though Spider-Man may not be offensively as strong against groups as someone like Black Panther or Magic, right? Single target isolation is literally what he's made for. Like, he has the best 1v1 kit. Well, I shouldn't say 1v1. The best, like, take your healer away from the fight or annoy the fuck out of your healer so they can't heal sort of like buttons in the game. Right? This, even if you are a Cloak and Dagger, you're missing your heals. And then I'm just gonna fight you.
No webs needed.
Now, these are Spider-Man, Black Panther, Magic, dive characters. Okay, what about Squirrel Girl?
When other people first saw her
Is she
powers, they
weaker
were
than
like,
Spider-Man because she doesn't
"A
have crazy
squirrel."
movement? Is she
And
weaker
now they're
than
like,
Black Panther because she doesn't have crazy movement or magic?
squirrel.
She does effectively the same thing as Black Panther, as Spider-Man, except from a safe distance with her team, and if her, like, healers get run up on, stun. Back to business. And she can kill healers. Like, this does kill people, and it's annoying, and it builds damage, which gives you your ult charge faster. And if you have your ult charge faster, you get to kill healers more. Like, Squirrel Girl's a very simple character, but if you're a good Squirrel Girl, you kind of, like, ruin the game for people, I'm not gonna lie. There's so many games as healer where it's just like, fuck, there's a Squirrel Girl on the mini team, and she's just doing this. And, like, we move out the way, she finds a new angle. And, like, one of our tanks pushes her. He gets stunned, and look how much damage she does to the tank. She melts tanks, melts healers, has a stun. Oh, and did I forget that, like, hold on. Stun. Re-up her kit. Stun. like, bro. Her kit is simple, but it's good. This whole time you're taking damage, mind you. So, like, stun, pop, refresh, stun again, immediately. Like, you're not going anywhere. If there's a Luna Snow, you're frozen. If there's a Mantis, you're slept. Right? If there's any team coordination with the back line, this Hulk may not make it out. In fact, if this Hulk jumps in, pops his bubble too soon, and there's any sort of stuns, even if there's, like, a Spider-Man there, he's honestly kind of cooked. Because even though, like, during the Spider-Man animation, right? Even though during this,
Someone's gotta stop Doom.
oh,
I mean,
yeah,
Doom.
even though during the animation,
Now I
like
gotcha.
you're tied up and you're moving, you can still be hit during it. It's just that people, again, this is the real world aspect. They just didn't expect me to pull you across their screen, and they just weren't ready to track you. If I was like, I'm pulling him towards me, and everyone got ready to look at me, you would get fried instantly. Like, you would not make it. That's why this is a team game. Like, cooperation is more important than anything. And the effective thing I'm trying to, like, the thing I'm effectively trying to communicate is that comparing Squirrel to Spider-Man will lead you to believe that she's weaker if you look at the highest end gameplay. But in all honesty, she's kind of like almost more effective. She does the job easierly at the lower end. It's easy to play Squirrel and just lob things into the back and stay with your team and like catch a lucky kill or catch an easy kill, or like you're helping out. And again, this is why I brought up the snipers. And I know this is the way I talk. All right, I dart all over the place, but it's all connected. All right, I promise. Penny Parker, lowest health tank in the game. My brother in Christ, what do you mean I almost just like half like two tapping Penny Parker headshot
Was that my arrow?
with Hawkeye? Two tapping. You're two tapping a tank.
Away from your past. Just look it in the eye and
Of course
say,
they're being healed.
"I'm better than
This is
you
what,
now."
3 shots to the head
The widow's bite is lethal.
on some of the
Bogies,
biggest
here
bodies
they
in the
come.
game. So what that means by biggest bodies is it's easier to hit.
Double kill.
Like, when you're playing Spider-Man, your first map pulls, they're going to be on tanks because their hitboxes are bigger, so it's easier to grab them.
Target
Right.
neutralized.
Think about what's being said here. A headshot from a sniper on a tank solo is a 3-tap. Like, you can 3-tap if you hit 3 headshots. Best players in the world
Widow's bite. Widow's
are
bite
doing
is
this.
lethal.
So, when you're at a higher level, a tank can be scared to walk down a Black Widow if the Black Widow's good enough. This, you just back up as the tank. You just back up. Otherwise,
Fight.
you die if someone's aim was good.
Another one bites the dust.
It's literally like
Bogies, here they come.
comparing Black Widow and saying like, oh yeah, she's a weak character, is ignoring the actual strengths of her kit and saying someone like, oh yeah, Spider-Man's way better, even if he is more fun, is comparing apples to oranges. Squirrel Girl, Black Widow are similar boats of like,
Kill.
if the healer can't heal, then their tank dies.
That's
They either do that through stunning, killing, or annoying. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Alright, if I'm a Black Widow and I snipe this healer, that's a free pick for Spider-Man. He just zips down, hits you with a single web,
Enemy down.
it's over. Right? So, essentially, there's 2 different roles you're comparing.
Double kill.
I don't know the like the official names for the roles or like the ones the communities come up with, but like there's divers obviously, then there's like backline support like Namor who can do the same thing with Spider-Man where you could just like, okay, he's targeting that healer, I'm gonna tap them,
Bogies,
they're
here
half
they come.
health. That's an easy kill for Spider-Man, right? Teams will do this,
Another one bites the dust.
right? And if I were to strictly be like, okay, her movement isn't as good, or like, you know, her ultimate is kind of fucking weird,
Double kill.
like, what's the point of the character?
That's 3.
Because when I first started playing the game, the first character I picked was Hawkeye. Cause like one tap headshots, cool. But then I didn't like his kit. But I like Black Widow's kit. Like I do like the versatility to be able to go, all right, I'm gonna brawl you now into like massive damage. Because now this tank has to run. You have to run here. If my team is with me, think about it. I did all that damage by myself. So.
Don't look up.
All this damage was just me. If a tank is surrounded by
spy some
herself
bad guys.
with a Black Widow, a Luna Snow, and let's say a mantis, you're not surviving.
Everyone bites the dust.
If it's a cloak and dagger, you're also not surviving. Because even, like, the tank position just means you have the most health and, like, you have general tools for either defending or pushing. Like, to advance or hold. So if I play cloak and dagger here, right? I think she got, like, a buff to her cloak damage with this, right? This is happening the whole time you're in the back line. You're just being drained. On top of a Black Widow stomping your shit. On top of, like, a mantis sleeping you into headshots. Like, one of my favorite things is that the healers in this game are not helpless. You just need mechanical skill to, like you can't push a group of healers by yourself. Like, you would need skill, you need to outskill them or, like, have some sort of, like, advantage. Like Black Widow's movement or Spider-Man's movement, right? Or magic, right? You need some form of, like, I can get in and out. Otherwise, they live off this amount of HP, this person heals them, and they double team you. And now, you just gotta go. And guess what? The second you leave, they're back to healing. And their tank lifts. Everyone has, like, strengths to their character that is in, like, relation to their task or role, right? So, saying, like, okay, Wolverine's strong, so all tanks are weak. That doesn't sound right, does it? No, it just means Wolverine is strong against tanks. And tier lists seem to, like, ignore that for the most part. Or not even tier lists, maybe even the way that people discuss characters in general. Like, if you go, why would I play Namor when I can play Iron Man? It's like, because you like the way Namor plays. And that's a odd thing in life that I've noticed a lot about people, where it's like, why would I do this when I can do this? Like, why would I talk to her? Why would I date her if she doesn't know how to cook or clean? It's like, because, first of all, you should know how to cook and clean. And second of all, because you like her. You like him. It's okay to have a stylistic choice in competition. Like I said in the very beginning, if you don't enjoy the character you pick, there's going to be a mental disconnect, and you're not going to fully optimize their tools. If you don't enjoy the character you pick, there's going to be a mental disconnect, and you're not going to optimize their tools. I like unique tools. That's how I put it. I like unique tools. I like things with high skill ceilings. So the tank I normally play is Magneto. That's the one I choose to play. Right? I don't really like Venom. I shouldn't say I don't like Venom. I don't play Venom a lot because I don't really have it. No, I don't like Venom. That doesn't mean I dislike Venom. See, like, this is a very important distinction. I don't like Venom. I just don't dislike him. Right? I see the strengths of his kit. I like his tools. I just don't like them together, or like I just don't like the way that they effectively feel. Or like, I can't even say don't like, I just don't really feel enjoyment, and I don't know how to phrase it, bro. Because I do appreciate the character, I do like the swinging, but like, he's just not Spider-Man. The swing just isn't Spider-Man. I'm aiming to get those headshots were kind of tough for me. I could see the strength of his cannon dive in the back line. It just feels slightly ineffective. You can basically one-tap anything with, like, a Mantis and Luna Snow buff from, like, Luna Snow's ultimate with his ultimate. But, like, it just didn't draw me to him. I've literally always chosen the fast-paced, high-octane characters where it's, like, I have utility to. It isn't just straight speed or strength. Like, there has to be some other, like, versatility to it. Some yin and yang. Right? Those are characters I pick every single game, without fail, without doubt. That's just who I am. It's just honestly who I am. Someone could like Namor.
Now I gotcha.
And like, this part of it is kind of a side tangent. Right?
Fight for the good guys.
The general concept is like to compare, like to make a list of how strong a character is. You shouldn't be making it relative to other characters in the game. You should be making it like this, like the comparison. Like, so if this 10-meter line is what is a good, like what is good, right? Just effectively, if it adds up to something along the lines past this line, it is good.
Pretty sure
You shouldn't be
those are bad
comparing it
guys.
to the best character in the game. It should always be compared to the baseline. Does this character fucking function? It does, but it's not that fun. It does, it's fun, but there's holes and it's kind of like broken. It's functioning, alright, it's fun. It has weaknesses, but like the weaknesses are kind of extreme, and if like anyone plays into them, you kind of lose immediately. There's a weakness, but you can play around them if you're good enough. There's no weakness, it's just like limitations of the kit. Nerf this character. That's how it goes. That's literally how it goes. You should go, does this character even fucking function as like a person in the game? Because you gotta remember, I play fighting games, right? And in the fighting game space, there might be a character who literally just doesn't work. Like, your kit is designed to zone, but your frame data for zoning is terrible, but like, your frame data for brawling is great. You just don't work. Because all the moves the game wants you to use are like for fucking zoning. Like, your kit is zoning, but you have like 2 or 3 moves for brawl. That's just better. And now everyone plays with you at like a brawler. Right? Let's look at the list. Let's look at the list. What's going on? Because I started off with Hulk when I started this off. Everybody objectively thinks Hulk is great. His fucking base form has an... Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Has a pistol that does this to headshots. Ding, 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 ding. Deleted. Who has the aim to do that? No clue. But it does mean you can lay down some good fire from the back. You have a grenade, does damage, right? Like, you can lay out DPS until you're able to turn into Hulk, right? There's people who've gone to, I think, Grandmaster just doing this. Just in banner form. So if you truly think it matters which character you play, on like on a macro scale, you're wrong. This purely alone, someone playing this character who's just a gun with 25 that does 32 headshot damage and like some odd body damage with no recoil and a grenade. If this character can make it that far, literally handicapped, it doesn't matter which character you play, bro. I'm not lying to you. It does not matter. Does your character function? Yes. And like, I guess since the Human Torch is in the game now, right? You got in the game yesterday. You can create the discussion of like, okay, why would you play Storm when you can play Human Torch? Well, let's ignore their team up, obviously. Like, you can play the Human Torch and just, you know, instead of Storm. Or why would you play the Human Torch when you can play Storm? And I'm guessing that's why they made the team up with those two together. Because they didn't want to create a situation where you have a flying character with a certain style, and you have a flying character with almost a similar style. Almost, right? Not exactly, right? And then, I have to lead these shots pretty heavily. And then, you would just be like, oh, I would never play Storm, and Storm pick rates drop. And this way, by having the Human Torch and Storm have a team up, that's actually good. This way, you know, both players' rates will like, they won't be so heavily affected. Because every Human Torch player wants a Storm. Or they want like the Fantastic Four to be with them. Like, the team comps are going to like, the pick rates are gonna like be dictated by who is popular, obviously, but who is in connection to that. You see a bunch of Hulk players, guess what? You're going to see a bunch of Doctor Strangers and a bunch of Iron Man. It's just like that simple. So yeah, I guess that was pretty much all I was trying to communicate, that like the strength of a character isn't dictated by the like in reference to other characters. Because like you can be like, okay, Storm has this amount of capability, this amount of power, blah blah blah. right? The Human Torch isn't even like that good. Like he doesn't as strong as her. We would just keep playing Storm for competitive lobbies. Okay, cool. Could you play Human Torch? Are you in higher end competitive lobbies? Does the difference really matter that much to where you go, I can't play this character here? Because you're still a flyer. Scarlet Witch is still gonna fuck you, bro. Like Scarlet Witch is still going to hunt you down and ruin your day. So does it matter which flyer you are? I guess maybe for like make or break moments where you need to pop an ult and you don't want to go supernova, you'd rather just like, you know, fear the goddess. You get what I'm saying? On that sort of level, it's not even like this character being effective, it's I just want this ultimate here. Like sometimes you want an Eye of Agamotto just like to clear the space. And you know, you just got a fucking meatball. You got a you got a Magneto. And don't get me wrong, if you need to clear space, you need to make space. Your Magneto can still do it pretty effectively with his ult. Like your Doctor Strange can just go Eye of Agamotto, clip the healers, everybody falls. Your Magneto can raise a meatball in the air and go, everybody back up, or I'll shoot. Is there anything else to talk about? Because I think I made my point. I guess since I'm here, we'll finish up the discussion about stop making healers heal. Because I really want to talk about this. Dead. Can't heal, right? Can't heal. And you're thinking, what are you talking about? Why can't they heal? If a Cloak and Dagger is healing their tank after I body shot them, my divers are going to kill them expeditiously. She has to stop for a moment, put a bubble at her feet. That's a cooldown not for her tank. Right? That's a cooldown gone for her tank. Right? And that's a cooldown wasted essentially. So her tank is probably going to fold because he doesn't have a bubble to hide in and regen health. So it's just straight shots in the healing wall. Right? So let's say I, for example, body shot here, right? Besides giving the call out to focus this healer for my team, and besides the fact that like they're half health and they're gonna like stop for a moment, I can just shoot them again. I can just shoot them again. And on the conversation of tier list and power scaling, blah blah, you can be like, okay, Hawkeye is clearly stronger than Spider-Man on paper if you do your things correctly. Right. Well, saying if you do your thing correctly as Spider-Man, they die. But like on a scale of like margin for error, Spider-Man is more likely to die doing his thing and cost his team in a 5v6 than I am just for sitting in the back picking healers or like making them weak. Because both Magic, like all divers have to put themselves in risk just to do this.
You're too loud.
But if someone were to ask you, hey, who would win the fight, Spider-Man or Hawkeye, in this game specifically, they'd say a Spider-Man.
Double KO. That's 3.
KO.
Like, just because your character
Was that my
is built to do something doesn't mean another character doesn't do it more effectively. In fact, you can say this character, even though he's designed for one tap and to do high damage output and just be a nuisance to the lobby, right? Because like I said, I have a friend in Diamond, right? And in Diamond you get bans. You know who's not banned? Probably. Well, you know who is banned? Probably Hawkeye. Who is out here being nasty as Hawkeye?
Was that my
In Diamond.
arrow?
No, seriously. Who is being nasty like this? Getting constant, because I've met one person in fucking Plat who clearly didn't belong there. Constant headshots on divers. Had to swap to a tank. Still didn't help.
You're too loud.
Like he was genuinely like shitting on my entire team with Hawkeye. because the damage potential is so high. But just because the damage potential allows you to do this, doesn't change the fact
Another one for the good guys.
that his role is heavily dependent on line of sight. And if he gets dived
We got company.
and stunned, he's dead. Like, Hawkeye's tools for, alright, get away from me. I don't fully understand the character, right? I just know the basics of, like, he has these options and he can pester teams. Right? And he can be annoying.
I am too good at this.
Right?
KO. That's
Annoying.
3.
High damage. Annoying. Right?
Wow, 4 in a row. 5. That's amazing.
Annoying.
6 in a row.
Because imagine this Penny Parker is getting healed,
Too
right?
easy when you
And I
never
hit 2
miss.
headshots. She's getting healed, but she's going to back up. So I can create space for it. The same thing you can do on other characters, like Star-Lord, just delete their health, right? On Winter Soldier, delete her health.
Never ends.
If the damage gets high enough and the rate of healing isn't high enough, the tank either dies or they back up and your tank takes that space. That is the job of DPS. There's mainly 3 roles. There's like flankers, there's like people who burst them down, and there's people who sit in your backline and defend your team, like Squirrel Girl, and you know what I mean? And like, I guess there's Ariel. I guess there's like 4 different, but essentially they're generally the same thing because you would sit in the back too. Right? You can do everyone can do DPS. Everyone can kill someone. But it's just the ease at which that DPS is like accessed is the deal.
Double KO.
What's a discussion that I've heard about this game that like pisses me off? Like generally the same thing happens in every game with tier lists where it's like this character is quote unquote bottom tier and everyone just shits on him like, oh, why would I play that weak character? And it bothers me because it effectively feels like the discussion feels like they're not playing the game to play the game, if that makes sense. Like it feels like they're playing the game to win. And it sounds strange to say like, oh, why would you play a game of chess if you didn't want to win? The difference between this and chess, and I know I'm the one who brought it up, and it's kind of a weird thing to fucking do for like proving your point. I'll double back with a better example later. Is that like chess is very linear, and the way you enjoy the game is by using your brain and thinking of the best move, the move that leads to the goal, which like is winning because it's linear. Like there's you can bullshit around in chess. Don't get me wrong. There's like dumb gambits. You can see if like you can pull a trick out on your opponent, like. But at the highest level, right, where everyone's the smartest, the goal is to win, and the way they win is generally like cookie cutter, or like it gets to a point where it's so far and that like they start doing things that look very noobish or like uneducated as far as like how to play the game because of the fact that they're looking for a way to get an advantage. They're looking for a way to change up or like catch someone off guard. So in a game like this, right, where there's so many different options and like each character has a unique identity, your advantage could indeed be swapping to a different character, or it could just be the way you play the character, right? Sure, you could be a DPS Moon Knight who's sitting in the back or at an off angle, because that's just how your kit works.
Get up. I'm not done.
That's 3.
You could swap characters to someone who, in theory, could output less damage than Moon Knight, or like has a less easy time dealing damage than Moon Knight, or Square Gun's basically the same thing, I'm not gonna lie. And do far more like than Moon Knight can. Does it mean that you don't want a Moon Knight on your team? No, because effectively, like, a good Moon Knight can do a lot.
Wow, 4 in a row.
a good Moon Knight is a constant pestering like mess for like the team. Like, if your team has to make out the call out, get Moon Knight, that Moon Knight is doing their job. Same thing for like Iron Man. If the team goes, someone focus Iron Man, get him out the sky, that means your presence is being felt. You're being annoying enough, or you're killing enough that the team has to address you. Right?
That's 3.
Alright, and I've seen like a lot of the same picks. So like, at the highest in levels of chess, because chess is very linear. Like, let's first of all, it was a bad example because chess is so linear. While this game has a rhyme and reason, each character's interaction with another character changes how like things operate, if that makes sense. So for example, when I do, which button is it? Because this character just got released. Not that move. When I do this effect here stops Spider-Man's entire kit. So this is a counter pick to Spider-Man in a tank. You chose a tank to lessen the effectiveness of a DPS, right? You could have, in theory, swapped to Namor. Where is that fucker, bro? You could have swapped to Namor, right? And killed him. And then, but what if your team needs a tank? Right? What if your team? What if the problem isn't that you're like your DPS isn't high enough? What if the problem is, hey, Spider-Man's just stopping the healers from healing, and since they can't heal, guess what? What is he shooting at? The bot up top? That's fucking crazy. So like, Spider-Man's being annoying, Black Panther's being annoying. Swapping to Namor only works in a situation where it's a diver issue. You're trying to counter the divers with this, right? But if it's a fucking, like... If it's a Hawkeye in the back, just digging your team, what do you do then? But no, seriously, I don't know the answer to this because of how high the damage is. But if you just have sniper characters in the back sniping your team, you would have to essentially say, okay, divers, you have to go handle that. That's your job. So your divers would have to make a swap from, like, let's say they're playing Squirrel Girl in the back, just lobbing, and then they're getting sniped. They would have to swap to someone who can effectively get back there or can snipe back. Right? You would need someone with the tools to go hunt him down. And like, the reason I'm saying this in specific is because tier lists are often formatted in a way where it's like, let's go with the healers, because I play healers pretty often. If we go to strategists, right? You can be like, Adam Warlock is not that good of a healer, right? Because of the fact that he has 2 heal charges that like actually heal everyone in connection to him, right? Should have a 5-second cooldown, but if you burn both of them, you aren't giving out, like, there's periods where you're not healing people. It's a flat amount of health given. There's just sections where you just don't heal anyone. Right? And sure, it's like a chain between them, but I think the healing gets lessened as you go down the line. Right? And you, like, I'm out of heals, so I can't heal them. And DPS is way faster than this in-game. See, that guy died, and I'm still waiting for my heals. You can be like, he's a bad healer. Well, you're thinking about it too linearly of like all healers are supposed to be the same. The game is built on variety. See this damage? I'm beaming people. On top of the fact that, like, let's wait till these guys respawn. You can actually just like apply DPS support very easily as Adam with like hit scan. You can just soul bond your team. They effectively take less damage individually. And they get to fight harder. Because they take less damage, meaning you can heal them easierly. Because you're able to cover the gaps in their health. And that's why Soul Bond has such a high cooldown. It's meant to be like a very good push tool on top of having high DPS. And then the ability to just bring your team back, refill their health immediately, soul bond. Now they're harder to kill. You get to fight. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened with the sound. Hold on, let's back out. But if you were to ask anyone at a lower end or a lower level, right? Oh, who are the best healers in the game? They'll say someone like Cloak and Dagger, Invisible Woman, Lunastone Mantis. All because they have those defensive ults. But like, let's think for a moment. All right, so Lunastone, all the healers are good. Like, let's clear that up. There's no bad characters in the game. It's all a skill issue. All a skill issue, right? At the higher end, your kick can kind of fall off because like people understand the game better, and your diving is like harder, right? And you're just a skill thing where you have to like improve your skill to be able to do it, which I appreciate, right? Because like a game where it's too easy to dive is a fucking nightmare, right? So I can heal both these people relatively easy. Alright, Frost Guard one. Keep them both alive, right? Then I have the ultimate on Luna.
I am ready to put on a show.
Can give a 40% damage boost. Good character, right? Does this mean that Adam Warlock is a bad character?
I was born to change humanity.
No.
That time.
He's able to do this to people. Like, hold on.
Our foes have arrived.
Like, so as a healer, he's able to bring another healer damn near to death in one clip. He's doing this amount of damage, which is a lot of damage, like a lot of damage. Who's someone with 300 health? Black Panther. Right? Black Panther is basically dead. He's not pushing that. Off a headshot does that much. Like, one boop does that much, and then charge into headshot, he dies. Right?
You made me do this.
So if we go Penny Parker, the weakest tank.
That's 3.
Adam Warlock's main thing isn't fucking healing. He's an off healer. You know how there's an off tank? This is an off healer. He can patch where you're missing, and he can make the team able to fight more effectively. Well, not even more effectively, he's able to sustain the team for the fight. Like, he's able to make it that you take less damage so you can survive longer. And then, since he has access to, like, high damage, he can help burst down priority targets. Meaning, you could be in a fight, he can heal, right? He can do his charge, shoot, immediately heal afterwards, soul bond off the pick, push forward. Meaning, he can heal without looking away. Let's process this. He can heal without looking away because it's based on being near your teammate. See? Like, it just automatically targets. Boop, boop, boop. Right? You're behind your team. And you can just burst down healers. So instead of effectively having, I don't know, let's say it's a balanced team like 2-2-2. Instead of having 2 DPS, 2 healers, 2 tanks, you effectively have 3 DPS and a healer. Right? And then when shit's getting hairy, you're able to respawn your teammates from around the corner so that the kills of the other team doesn't matter. Soul bond, more damage, push in. You do so much damage off a headshot. Like, we're not... You have to process how much damage it truly is. That's a lot of damage, but that's charged. A regular shot does almost the same. So, if we bring on a healer or Moon Knight, he's 250. Moon Knight, this headshot is half health. Again, think about it. If your healers are hurt, they have to make a choice between your life and theirs.
to magic.
So in this scenario where Moon Knight, let's say pretend Moon Knight's a healer, he's half health almost. Spider-Man, Black Panther, Magic eat this up all day. Black Widow eats this all day. Literally,
May your
the entire
tortured soul
team,
finally
if
find
two
some
people
peace.
who have chops on them aim at people who are squishy, this guy dies.
Your fate is sealed.
Like, obviously Spider-Man
Life
kills
is
you.
hard sometimes. But at
Easy.
least maybe I can make it easier for other.
So this is effectively an off healer who's meant to be a DPS, and this is part of the reason why it confuses me on the way people think about things. Because 2 seconds of analysis on this character will let you know that he's meant to be an off healer, right?
Wow.
But because his thing is effectively just like, hey,
Your time
like-
is past.
I don't want to say damage reduction. It's like damage redirection, because that's like the technical term for it. But we'll say damage reduction.
I require
So-
some aid.
The technical thing is like damage reduction for your team and yourself. And yourself. On top of like having high damage. You would think someone who plays someone like Star-Lord, or not Star-Lord, Star-Lord is too flashy, but like someone who plays like Hawkeye, or someone who like plays Black Widow, they would choose this up as a support. Or like someone who like, oh, I want to do a bunch of damage, I want to be responsible for killing, I want to hurt people because my team is having a hard time killing.
Heals you.
Don't pick up this character who can do so much fucking damage and heal at the same time. Like, if all the slots are taken for healer, and you choose, if all the slots are taken for DPS and tank, and you choose fucking, like, DPS, because, like, no, I'm not going to be a healer. Why would I heal? Bro, you're selling not only your team, but yourself. Because there's so many healers who can do shit like this.
Your fate
And on
is
body
sealed.
shots, it's still fast. 5 shots to body, right? And you're like, bro, but they're moving. Aim for the head. You get one good headshot, and that decides the fight. And by the way, you should be aiming at the healers. You have the ability to go, now you die. And guess what? Their healer's just gone. Their healer is just gone. From across the map, you can do this, and they're just dead.
Your souls unite. I require some aid.
But of course, they would say he's a weaker, healer than, Luna Snow. Or like, why would you play him when you can play Luna Snow, Cloak and Dagger? When you can do damage like this. Mantis is not doing that damage. I know everyone's like, oh yeah, Mantis is a damage dealer. Look, she's 3-tapping. You can buff yourself. Right, doing damage. Right.
4 in a row.
She's not. The fire rate on this, and this is what I'm talking about. This is understanding how to think in games.
Way to go.
Oh, that sounds so fucking pretentious. The point is, understanding how the mechanics work and how it will actually play out in a game is an important part of like existing. You should be able to go, okay, this is cool, and she has a defensive ult, but
Where there is evil in this universe,
Adam gets to delete you before you can react. Adam gets to just go, nah, I win.
Double KO.
On a healer. And like he gets to play like with the front line, or like the not front line, middle line with his team. While Mantis is like a back line supportive role. And if someone wants to run up on like your team, you can sleep them into headshots. In fact, I'm playing with a friend of mine, right? I'm playing Mantis to his Adam,
humanity.
and now that I've like looked at Adam just for 2 seconds, he gets first shots. If I sleep any target in front of him, he gets full charge.
Feel my power.
He gets to do that. That's what he gets to do first, and then I get shots afterwards from now on. Because you want to know why? Because he gets to delete the health of anyone who even decided to push Mantis. And they have a team up together too.
Please.
So like, to say Adam Warlock isn't a good healer is crazy. And I know someone is gonna be like, well, no one's saying that. You know, the conversation is, why would I play Adam Warlock when I can play Susan
Who
Storm?
wants to see something fantastic?
You know, be invisible, put up a barrier,
You need
have an ultimate that like counter Star-Lord
Disappear!
that heals you,
What am I? Invisible?
right?
Double kill!
Like, why would I do this when I could just, I mean, why would I do that when I can do this? Right, do high damage.
Never even saw me coming.
Because, honestly, you can. And I guess that's really the crux of my argument, is that, like, since all the characters in the game are good, you effectively can play whoever you want if you're good enough. And that's really the conversation. Like, it's not the character, it's you. It's you. Like, it's just you. I want you to know, it's just you. Because you can be like, oh yeah, like, Susan Storm's gonna be so good for healing. Look at how fast his healing is. Yeah, you could choose to have another healer like Mantis who does something like this for like, with the leaves, and then gets headshots to get her leaves back, and she just right. But you notice the healing isn't, it's a flat amount with some regeneration, right? And you can do damage, and then she has a defensive ultimate, same way as like Invisible Woman. But it doesn't change that, like, this is a totally different character and a totally different slot of healer. If that makes sense. Like, if there's 3 healer classes, there's like mobile healers, right? There's attack support healers, and then there's fucking like defensive healers.
Wow, 4 in a row.
That's why, like, whenever I'm in a game, I have Jeff the Shark. Cool, like, Jeff's cool. But then the other person plays Rocket Raccoon, and it's like, okay, listen, I know this may be a shocker, but like, I think we're gonna need a defensive ultimate. Something that goes, nah, our tank isn't dying here, and we get to try to take point with it. And I know it seems like crazy to say, like, oh, I have to pick this, like, you're restricting, like, so clearly there is like a level. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's a fucking, I'm not saying it matters what level on the tier list your character is. I'm saying it matters which composition your team is in. I don't even care about team up. I'm saying purely if you have a Rocket Raccoon or Jeff, if you're not running 3 healers, please do not pick a fucking Jeff, bro. Please do not like run both of them at the same time unless you have someone like one of these 4 people, or you like, you know what I mean? And it's the same thing for Loki. Loki does a service for his team that effectively feels almost similar to Adam Warlock, but different. Notice how, like, I'm splash healing my team. If my tank was attacking someone, I could splash attack and heal my tank at the same time. Wow. Repositioning. Oh, that sucks. I did too quickly. While repositioning and applying DPS, I'm healing and DPSing at the same time, right? And let's say we need some extra DPS because a fucking, we got like a Luna Snow ult, or we have like a Invisible Woman ult, or a Mantis ult. Throw out the moon, right? Then after Mantis pops her ult, your Moon Knight can do his, because they if they don't hear the sound cue that is Loki doing his ults, then, like, you know, or like you can copy Doctor Strange. Let's swap this character. Alright. You can pull out Doctor Strange, right? He does his portal. You copy him. You have 3 tanks, 2 Eye of Agamottos. So you pop through, heal your tank, heal your tank, heal your tank. He does his shit. You copy him. You can place a portal if you want for a portal play, right? Just like off cooldown, right? Or like you can do portal play into Eye of Agamotto, right? Then your Doctor Strange can do portal play into Agamotto. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, I don't want to say bot response because that's like a big thing to say, because it's not necessarily true. The general like thing people do is that they copy other healers, but sometimes people just aren't dying. Like you're a healer who can do DPS, yes, and you do have good heals. Like you can, like from here all the way back here, they don't die now. Oh, he wasn't in the circle, but that guy is not gonna die for the duration of the totem. And then like, let me see what's the cooldown for. I think it's like 20 something seconds. So 25 seconds, right? You can negate an ultimate. You can negate like major damage with the totem if you time it correctly. You can negate dives. You can keep your backline alive, right? And since you're a healer and people take tons of damage, you can constantly be healing, get your ultimate back, and then play other characters. And this is what I don't fucking get about other people, is that like when they're like, oh, I'm not playing healer, bro, or I refuse to play healer, and it's not from a place of like, oh, I played healer before, and other people just are dickheads, and you know, like I get that's general annoyance, but they're like, oh, I'm a DPS man, I'm never playing healer, or like they influx healer. They see that the influx DPS, they see we need a healer. They chose last and they refuse to change. Why not pick Loki? Oh, I don't know how to play Loki. You didn't know how to play Iron Fist. In fact, you don't know how to play Iron Fist. You're 6 and fucking 8, right? Oh, like I don't know how to like. I only play, you know, DPS or tank. Dog. First of all, I know that's some bullshit that people be saying, like, oh, I don't know how to play the character, because when the Thing dropped and the Human Torch dropped, I was seeing those motherfuckers in my ranked lobby expeditiously. Like, first match in, Thing, what do you mean? What do you mean? He hasn't been out for a day, and you're bringing him into ranked? That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's crazy to me, because that same person would not pick fucking healer. Think about it. Cause you're like, oh no, but the Thing's brand new. He's trying to try him out. Yeah, there's pubs for that. You're like, you're still testing things out. You're still figuring things out with the character, and like, you're telling me you're gonna run to my rank game and look me in my eyes. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's just fucking crazy. Because the same way that character is new to you, the healer is new to you. And I'm not saying that like, oh, healer's the master class. If you don't play healer, you're a loser. I'm saying specifically, bro, your team needs a healer. Like, whether you like it or not, your team needs a healer. And by saying, no, I'm not playing healer, you're forcing someone who, here's the thing. Forcing your other teammates who already, like, chosen their character, who got there first and chose fast, right? They've gotten their positions in, to change because you want to be selfish already makes them not like you, already makes the match like feel worse, right? If you do badly on DPS, just know you're an asshole. And I mean that, like, if you insta-lock not even insta-lock, because you were late, that's the example we're going with. If you pick DPS and force someone, like one of your tanks, because everybody knows DPS ain't changing, to go to healer to keep your team alive. And one, you do badly, you're a dickhead. And two, if you start complaining in match, or hell, even in your own head, if you're like, man, why aren't we going anywhere, man, this team's ass, bro, you're the problem. Your tank, you're running a one tank thing, right? Where your tank had to go healer, and you're suffering on DPS, and you're like, oh, but like I'm 11 and 6. Yeah, you died 6 times, and that's 11. Those 11 like kills or KOs or whatever. Those aren't you. Like you know it's not you. Half of those are your teammates. You were shooting at the same person as your teammate, making your stats look better. All of you have 11. If you were truly doing good, you would be at 20 right now. Because I know damn for certain that you don't have 11 fucking, like, final hits. Because you're not 1v1ing people. You're not ISOing people. It isn't like you're a Spider-Man and, like, 75% of your, like, kills are going to be yours. No. It's just not. what's another healer that gets slept on? Because mainly the two that I don't see are like these two, Loki and Adam Warlock, even though they provide like anti-dive tools. Both of these characters are anti-dive. If I'm diving as Spider-Man, this shuts me down. I literally cannot hurt them enough. I actually cannot hurt them enough. Like, let me say that again. As a Spider-Man, I cannot hurt anyone who is soul bonded. Same thing for Black Panther. Same thing for Magic. This is a waste of... Well, I don't know about Magic because I haven't played her. This is a waste of time. You have to wait till the soul bond is gone. Meaning, if like you're like getting dove, you can wait till all the resources is gone. Sure, right? You can wait for the next wave to come in. Soul bond, heal up your people. They're back at full health. Or like you can soul bond a person who's weak and they take less damage individually, and like they just don't die to that like attack, and they live to be healed. Right? It's the same thing with Loki with his totems, where you can effectively go, no one here is gonna die for like these couple of seconds, right? And it's just like Spider-Man can't dive that. Like it's just undivable. So those are important anti-dive tools. Mantis anti-dive, Luna Snow anti-dive. Like Luna Snow's freeze also heals her. So if I...
Also, the ice effects look great on stage. I'm hurt.
See? It heals her. So you hit the freeze, you get to like... Look at the damage. That's crazy. That's fucking wild. But you can hit a defensive freeze, which heals you into damage. So you can freeze, heal yourself, buff yourself, heal yourself, kill him. So like having at least one of these like sort of defensive class characters is gonna set you up for success the most. It's the same way that you would want to have one off tank, one off tank. Thor is an off tank. Notice how Thor and Captain America are constantly in your fucking spawn and away from their team. That's because their kits are designed for them to survive away and to get health packs and run around. That's why it's important to DPS them as fast as possible. That's why it's important to go, okay, we need to make this Thor afraid. We need to hit him with the freeze, right? We need to blind him. We need to sleep him, right? Any sort of like DPS in the back protecting the healers is also like job to like do that too, because you need DPS. Like a Sword Girl to stun him into a freeze is gonna make him like want to run away. And if you don't do it fast enough or good enough, Thor just kills your healer for free. Like it's just that simple.
Yes. Another hit for Luna Snow. Double KO. That's 3. Wow, 4 in a row. This counts as a I suck. 5. That's amazing. I put you up 6 in a row. Way to go. Be strong together.
There we go. Well, I guess that's generally all I could possibly say. Yeah. Just think about what role the person's supposed to like have in. Are they usable? Yes. Like what tools do they have and what does it mean? What's the stipulations of it? Like the general idea concept, I guess, to wrap this up is just I don't like the way that people generally consider characters. Like I don't even like it when characters are considered overpowered unnecessarily. Like when they be like, oh, this character's overpowered. For YouTubers, it's clickbait. But when people say it in game, it actually makes you cringe. Because you have to think about it. Saying Star-Lord's overpowered. Okay, why don't you play him? No, seriously. Because there's two branches to the argument. You can be like, yes, Star-Lord is indeed overpowered, right? Damage is too high, right? Like, just getting melted. He's able to melt down tanks, auto reload, right? Why don't you just play the character then? And then they'd be like, oh, I'm not cheese. And these be the same people who beg for 3 healers. Think about that. The same people who would say it's overpowered will beg for 3 healers. The same people who would ban Wolverine in their fucking Diamond 3 lobby. The same people who will ban Hawkeye in their Diamond 3 lobby. The same people who will ban, like, Doctor Strange. You're not losing because the enemy team has a Doctor Strange. You're losing because you aren't, like, coordinating or playing correctly. You could say, oh, like, Iron Man with the Gamma Burst is just way too strong right now. Like, you know, that's the reason I lost my fucking Gold 3 match. No, don't start. And I'm not saying that's because you're Gold 3. I'm saying that because you're... Okay, I was about to say because you're Gold 3. But, like, I'm saying it because, most importantly... Okay, it might be because you're Gold 3. Listen. You're Gold 3. The people in your lobby are also Gold 3. Or Gold 1, right? Maybe even a Plat. No one on your, like, any team or your team has the skill level to even remotely do you dirty like this. Just pick a character that can counter the flyers and then focus them. Play smart. Play with your team. And it's like, okay, there's nothing I can do there. Guaranteed there was something you can do. Guaranteed. Like, a common complaint I hear is like, oh, no heals from tanks. Dog, your healers were... Like, if you see a Thor in the lobby, and you say the words, healers, where are you? No heals, I guess? Quit the fucking game. I'm not joking. That's not hyperbole. I'm not being funny. I'm not actually smiling either. I'm so serious. If you see a Thor, Captain America in the game, in your lobby, and you see them run past you, like, watch them run past you, and you continue to their back line. Hell, no, that means you're the off tank. Off tanks have to, like, they're just, there's no way you're playing someone like Thor or Captain America and would bitch about, like, getting heals. There's just no way. Like, there's no way you're, like, that stupid. And I mean stupid. I genuinely mean stupid. This isn't a discussion of whether or not I'm being hyperbolic. I'm being literal. You can't be that dumb to play a character who's designed to be away from the team and bitch about health. I play Spider-Man of all people. Do you know what I do when I need to get health? I go, wait, where's the nearest health pack? Back in the fight. I go, oh shit, I need health. Where's the nearest health pack? Oh shit, I have my cooldowns off. Right here. Oh shit, I need health. Where's the nearest health pack? I can't go backwards. Let's say that's their spawn. I go, alright. Oh, there's no health pack back here. Fuck. This is what it was. Guess I'm wrong. Guess I gotta go find a health pack. You hear that words? Find the health pack. And it sounds insane to say when, like, oh, like, I need healing though. Like, where's my healers? Their whole job is to heal. No. Their job isn't to fucking heal. Alright? First of all, they're not called healers. They're supports. And I know it's fucking corny to make that distinction because we all know we all know what we're talking about. But, like, if I need you to process this, if you're the type of person to call for heals in the scenario I just outlined, they're not healers. Some of them can heal. They're not, in fact, I think all of them can heal. They're not healers. They're supports. Meaning, they're keeping the tank alive and supporting the team. Meaning, they have so many things on the plate as it is. If you're like, oh, breaking root walls is a support job, are you fucking dumb?
That's 3.
No, seriously. The DPS and the supports will be breaking a Groot wall. By the time it's down, you're dead. You're letting the Groot walk you in, like block you in.
You'll be alright.
You're letting him. I know you're letting him because I've played Groot before. People will back up when they see you raise your hand because they know you're about to wall them in. That's why you're able to advance so well with Groot. Sure, if they don't walk backwards, now they're blocked in and they die, and then they're down a tank, and you get to walk forward for free anyway. Like, dog. I know I'm making it sound simple, like, oh, it's not always gonna go down like that. Yeah, of course. But the idea is, in the perfect scenario, if they don't do something to counteract you, you get what you want, and it's walking forward. Notice how every time I say a discussion like, oh, you put them in this scenario, they either do this or they do this, which gets you what you want anyway. Because the action, the thing you did was part of the win condition.
Pretty sure those are bad guys.
Like, it's part of the win condition itself. Isolating a healer and distracting them is part of the win condition. Now, to counteract that, a DPS or a tank needs to fucking peel to the back line and help. It's that simple.
That's amazing!
It doesn't seem that simple in game. It's like, oh, so much is going on. If your healers die, you lose. Whether you like it or not. If the healers are dead because a Thor or a fucking Captain America or a Hulk or a Venom walks into the back line, guess what happens? You don't get healed. More importantly, even if you like were to get healed, right, and your healers die, let's say somehow, some way, like, who has an ult that stays up? Like, let's say Loki pops Cloak and Dagger ult but dies, and the trail stays, and you're still being healed. You're in a fucking 5v6. That's less DPS. That's less bodies. That's like that's literally makes people more comfortable to push forward because they can turn a corner and they won't be obliterated by like by 6 people, right?
Stay down, will ya?
On top of that, on top of having less bodies, if you kill a healer, the first call out people make is healer dead.
Double KO!
Focus this next one.
That's 3!
Once the next healer's dead, they're walking you forward. Like, they're just gonna walk you down. And that cloak ult isn't gonna last that long. And this does link back to the tier list conversation, because the talk about tier list when it is a team game is effectively null and void, because like I said, I play fighting games. Fighting games is one-on-one, meaning the tier list does matter. The matchup does matter. Sure, there's bad matchups in this game, but it really comes down to target priority. Like, if I'm playing Tekken and I'm playing Yoshimitsu and I'm playing against a Brian, like, we're 2 defensive characters waiting for some shit to happen. Sure, I have Flash, but Brian has how many counter hit launchers? If I get impatient, I lose. But if I do nothing, I also lose because he has pokes, and my pokes aren't that good. Right? Sure, I could quote-unquote react to, like, a hatchet kid, right? But he can apply the pressure, he can force me into crouch very easily from standing. I know this means nothing to any of you. This means nothing to a lot of you. The point is, he's capable of doing things to me that I'm not so easily capable of doing to him, right? And it's like, it's a situation where it's like, yeah, that's just a bad matchup. You know, on the tier list, Yoshimitsu is high. You can be high on a tier list and have a matchup that's bad, and that makes the game like easier. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can have let's say Hulk, right? And let's say his counter pick was fucking Jeff for some reason. I don't know, right? If that's the case, even though the Hulk is like, you can just counter pick him with a Jeff, and you're still in the game. It's not the same in fighting games because you can't change characters midway through unless it's like Mortal Kombat Red, right? And they got rid of that in MK1. So like, bro, in a fighting game, that 1v1, you just have to eat that matchup. You just have to be better. And like, effectively, you can say the same thing about this game. Not like you have to eat the matchup, but like, just be better. If Iron Fist, right, is touching the back line, and you're like, oh bro, I had a Warlock, I can't outrun this. Stick next to your team. Just be better. Stick next to your fucking backline with the other healer. Soul bond your team and turn on him. Like, no, seriously. And if it's like, oh, well, we're running a fucking Adam Warlock and Loki, have Loki put an anti-dive pull. Adam Warlock Mantis. Your Mantis just needs to sleep him. Oh, that's hard. Just be fucking better.
I don't want to hit you more than I
Right?
have
It's a
to.
skill issue. Like, that's the main argument, basically. That, like, all of the, like, tier list conversations from regular people are just, like, skill issue conversations, basically. Like, at a certain point, it just gets to be, like, a skill issue.
And stay down.
Because you're not playing by yourself. Like, right here, me doing this healer would just turn
Watch out,
and, like,
they're headed
heal
our
their
way.
teammate. They wouldn't just let me, like, defile their teammate. I mean, that's, of course, if, like, they react to it in time. Like, all stipulations of, like, human possibility. But, like,
Oh, you went down
it's a
pretty
team
hard.
game. If someone's high on a tier list, again, it doesn't represent fully what they're capable of. It doesn't represent fully what position they're meant to fill. It doesn't represent fully who else is in the lobby. It doesn't match up, like, represent matchups. Is he still alive? What the fuck? It doesn't represent matchups, right? So, like, Hela, super strong. She can basically 3-tap your ass, I think, right? What does she do against a Spider-Man that's, like, not in her line of sight? That's, like, very quick with it. Like, doing shit like this, zipping all over the place.
You sure those are bad guys?
Like, what does she do? What does she do against a Black Panther who's moving too fast to see? Right? Her stun is pretty shit, which is great. Like, there should be character weaknesses. She just gets dived upon,
Ooh, no
deleted,
lives needed.
gone. What does she do against a Bucky with, like, crazy movement? I shouldn't say movement, but, like, you understand, like, she can get fucking walked upon by a Bucky who tethers her, shoots her in her head. Gone. She can get focus fired. She can get misplaced. Like, it's a team game, and what's most important is team. That's why you can have pro players who smurf, get 60 kills, and then literally don't win the game.
Fight or slave.
You, like, being so fucking serious, bro.
Now I got you.
Like, it's a team game. You, like, you can be like, okay, you can literally be like, okay,
Sure,
Iron
those are
Man
bad
buff
guys.
is too strong. Okay, got it. Is there not other people looking at Iron Man? Is there not, like, a team full of people? Like, do we not have a cloak and dagger? Because, like, if Iron Man is truly an issue, why are we not aiming at him? Why are we not dealing with him? Why are we not, like, putting hands on that man? Why are we not making his day harder?
Fight
Why are
for
we
the
not
good
making it
guys
so that he
next
wants to
time.
swap? And that's not always going to be the case, because at lower levels, right? At lower levels,
Double KO.
swapping a lot happens. I'm not sure about higher levels, haven't been there. I'm assuming Diamond is still a shit show, so, like, we'll say in Diamond, since I haven't been there yet, that it's still roughly the same thing. At Grandmaster, people know their characters. So that's why, like, when they're getting dogged by something, they're most likely not gonna swap 5 fucking times. They're gonna swap to whatever they feel comfortable in countering
For
your
the good
character
guys
is,
next time.
or countering the problem, or they're just
Sure
gonna
those are
stop.
bad guys.
Like, they're just gonna, like, deal with it.
Double KO.
And again, I could be wrong. Like, if anyone has any sort of information, ideas, topics, I don't know why the fuck I said the topic part, but you get the point. You get the idea of what I'm saying. Like, they're not swapping to fucking Star-Lord because they're losing to Star-Lord. Unless they're fucking, like, ego challenge. Like, yeah, but, like, the main point I'm making is, like, they're not going to the tier list and going, okay, I'm losing to a Scarlet Witch. She's mid-tier on the rankings. You know who should I play? I should look at who's a high tier DPS? Hela. No, you're not losing to Scarlet Witch because you're not playing fucking, like, a tier above her. And I think this is the best way to phrase this. I'm so glad I continued. You're not losing because you're playing a low tier character.
Watch out, they're headed
This
our
has been the
way.
argument since day fucking one. Like, this has been the argument since, like,
Fight for the good guys
conversations of
next time.
old. This has been in conversations since like fucking fighting games existed. You're not losing because you picked a low tier character. You're losing because you're not good or that guy was better. It's that simple. Like I'm being so fucking for real, bro.
I don't want to hit you more than I
You're
have to.
losing because that guy was better or you're just not good. And if you can't accept that, then you shouldn't be looking at a tier list anyway.
Double KO.
Because you're not like living in reality.
That's 3.
Scarlet Witch, by far, is considered I can tell you for a matter of fact, alt for alt, band for band, that Scarlet Witch is weaker as effective damage output and like doing things for the team. Well, maybe not the things for the team. Let me slow my roll. But like effective damage output
Double KO.
than Hela. Is Hela more boring? Does she has less sauce? Yes.
Watch out,
Scarlet
they're
Witch's
hitting
ult
our
is so
way.
cool. It is. It's a cool ult. It's that simple. Does Hela have higher damage output and like no range fall off? Yes. Hela can beam you from across the map.
Double KO.
Is Hela's movement as good as Scarlet Witch's? No. Is Hela's ult better than Scarlet Witch's? Yes. One Hela's ult is a separate health bar. Two, it places you above everyone in the sky. Melee characters can't hit you now. So if you're being walked down by a Black Panther or some shit, I don't know, you could, in theory, do as much damage as possible. Well, let's say not Black Panther because he's too movable. Let's say you're being walked down by like, shit, who's a bulky character? We'll say like the Thing. Let's say you're being walked down by the Thing.
Right? Someday.
You do as much damage to him as possible. Like, let's say you stun him, do a bunch of fucking damage to his head. He's weak anyway, so he's at half health, but he's literally about to kill you. Pop your ult. Your ult literally gives you a separate health bar, takes you into the side where he can't touch you.
I don't want to hit you more than I have
He
to.
can't touch you.
KO.
He can't touch you. And it has crazy high damage. Like, you literally can, like, 2 to 3 tap support. So you can destroy the back line after hitting... It's basically, imagine you were sniping someone, you were getting kills, you started being a problem, they walk you down, they're about to kill you, right? Because you're annoying the back line, you're eliminating people, and you get to hit a panic button that allows you to kill more people easier.
Wow, 4 in a row.
In comparison to Scarlet Witch's ult, where it's like, yeah, bro, everyone in a 3-mile radius can know where you are. In fact, literally everyone, even when you're obscured from view, can know the general direction you are, and they just back up. Or they can stun you, or you just die because everyone melts you out of it. Like, everyone turns. But, because of mechanical skill,
No webs needed.
Hela was placed higher on the list of tier list because of the fact of the players. Because the lobbies where everyone is skilled, everyone can do that type of aiming, everyone's fucking amazing at the game. She does a lot because the people do her job effectively because it's a very simple game plan. Do I think Scarlet Witch's stun is way better? Yes. Do I like having auto-tracking aim? Yes. Do I like having missiles that regenerate from my auto-tracking aim? Yes. Do I think the kid is cool? Yes. Do I love the floating? Yes. Literally, Scarlet Witch is a cool character. Is Hela stronger than her?
That's 3.
In general, off straight DPS alone, if that's the only part of the conversation, because remember, I don't think linearly. I think, like, in terms of dynamics and, like, structures of, like, teams and positions and stuff like that. I'm not so comfortable in saying that, like, Scarlet Witch, let alone, like, on a tier list, like, Scarlet Witch is definitely ranked pretty much lower than Hela. Like, I think almost every tier list, if not all of them. But, like, I myself am not too confident and able to, like, because that's the thing I've noticed where, like, let's say other games, like Apex, pro players will say things and then, like, other people would just follow along instantaneously without thought. Like, without thought, without consideration, immediately they just believe exactly what that person says. Right? They'd be like, oh yeah, Bangalore is overpowered.
Watch out, they're headed our
Really?
way.
Bangalore? And like, if they go like Bangalore is overpowered and needs to be deleted from the game, why is she overpowered? What does overpowered mean? And this is another discussion that like having is kind of pain with people because they're like, oh yeah, so and so is overpowered. It's like, okay, what does overpowered mean? Does that mean like,
Now I've
give me
got
that
something
there.
to prove.
Does that mean like they're just too strong for this game, or they're too strong for like humans? Because there's a distinction, and I know it sounds weird, but there is a very like clear distinction in like what that means. Because too strong for the game is like, in comparison to everything around it, it's just way too strong, and it makes it that it's the only option we have to pick,
Now I got
right?
you.
And then too strong for humans, which can still be too strong for the game, and most often is that, brother, literally there's nothing we can do. Like, this reaction times we would need to deal with this, or like the things we would have to do to deal with this is fucking ridiculous. Or like majority of the player base, and which is also kind of like,
Now I got you.
like, but like majority of the player base cannot deal with this be due to the fact of how the structure are made. Like, if you played Tekken 8 at all, you remember Azucena, right? Her fucking like while running move, you had to sidestep like duck, which anyone who plays Tekken knows that that's kind of a complicated input if you're not used to doing it. There's people who've been playing Tekken for like what 10 years now who can probably do it perfectly without question, without fail, without contemplation. Like 100 out of like, 99 out of like 100 times they're gonna like succeed in it. They're just gonna do well. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
Pretty sure those are bad guys. Yeah.
so it's just like, there's certain situations where it's like they have to nerf a character so like people can enjoy the game. Like, imagine if Moon Knight's time to kill was less than a second with his onks the way it is. It would be pretty much unplayable. If he did that much damage that fast, like, you would be able to like play in a lobby with a Moon Knight. And then it would create so much hate for the character that like Moon Knight players would hold on.
Now I've got something
Got a
to
sore
prove.
throat. That Moon Knight players would actually end up getting hate even from their own team. Like, Moon Knight players get hate now. Like, Squirgle players get hate now because of how easy their character is. But imagine a world where it's even worse. I feel like the characters are pretty well balanced in the sense of like
Now I got you.
making people feel incredibly strong and like quote unquote overpowered without doing so, if that makes any sense. Because like everyone has what does he go? Everyone has a matchup that is he where did he go? Everyone has a matchup that makes it feel so unfun to play. Again, I play Spider-Man. Namor is a fucking nightmare, bro. And I also think Namor is fucking boring. So every time I see a Namor, it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why this character? Why do this to yourself? Like, why do this to me? Right? And I know it's strictly because they're trying to counterpick me.
Crack the whip.
And they're doing it on a character that they may not necessarily find fun themselves. And like, that's the thing. You can be like, oh, I just need to like counterpick. But counterpicking, there's two ways to think about it. There's I'm literally amongst the best players in the world, and like, I just can't seem to get this guy with my kit. I'm just gonna try something else. Or it's like, I'm in a lobby full of like the most average players you will ever meet in your life.
That's a long way down.
I think like it's a me issue on my character. I'm gonna swap to something that's a bit easier, or I'm gonna swap to something where like the matchup is in my favor, so that way I can help my team out. You know what I mean? So I can like succeed and win this match. Because you can be like, yeah, I'm here to play, like, have fun, yeah, true. But like, losing isn't fun to people. So like, that's why you'll see a bunch of swaps. You'll see like, quote unquote, adaptations to certain like playstyles or decision makings.
Pretty sure
Like, for
those are
example,
bad guys.
I have no clue how to like counter Namor, but I've started playing Psylocke. Because here's the deal. Spider-Man's goal is to dip in, target a healer, get out, right? That's essentially what I'm trying to do. If there's a Namor right here, I can't really do that.
I don't want to hit you more than I have.
I can't.
Double KO.
Because one, the second I do the uppercut and pause in the air, he's shooting me in my back. Two, his turrets are shooting me in my back. And the second I get him weak, he's just gonna run like a bitch, and his healer's gonna heal him, and I'm stuck in an infinite cycle of doing nothing. Right? So if that's the case, if that's truly the case, swapping the Psylocke makes sense. Even if Spider-Man could be considered higher on the tier list than Psylocke, because of the fact that I can ult both Namor and the healer, right?
Oh, you
And
went
if
down
Namor runs
pretty
away
hard.
from the ult, his healer dies. And if Namor stays in the ult, Namor dies. So I get my goal either way. And you're like, oh, so you're just playing for the ult? Psylocke has a kit also meant for diving, where she goes invisible. I can just avoid the turns. I can just, like, dash out of the range of the turns. I could literally shoot from afar. Because if you've noticed, the characters that I play, like Spider-Man, Black Panther, they're melee-based characters. They're melee movement-based characters, meaning Namor pretty much does counter them. Right, shit. Like, he does pretty much counter them. And for me to, like, not sell my team, I just gotta swap.
Watch out, they're headed our way.
And here's the deal. I don't enjoy Namor at all. So, swapping to a character to just completely shit on his day, perfect for me. Perfect. If I don't get to play like, if I'm playing better Spider-Man, that's one thing. But if it's like Namor shutting me down, fuck it. I'll swap to Psylocke, who I do kind of enjoy,
Stay down, will ya?
and counter him. And at that point, it's not even like a hard counter. I'm just the only one who shoots the fucking squids. I swear to you, bro. It feels like I'm the only one who shoots the deployables, like penny mines, the squids, because I've played divers so often. Like, I don't go for necessarily, like, I can say Spider-Man's kind of flashy, but the characters I play specifically dive. They get to the root of the issue. Get rid of the healers, we can start advancing. The healers are guarded, let's do something about that. Let's take that guy out. And then I play pretty much independently from my team. Right? Sure, I'll pop in on like my fucking Luna Snow, get a heal if she fucking with me in the moment. But like, for the most part, it's faster for Spider-Man to get a health pack than it is to actually, like, you know, go sit in front of his healer, who's probably busy in the tank, who's probably busy healing the tank, who's getting fucking mollywhopped, you know what I'm saying?
Now I gotcha.
But like, yeah, like, perfect. That was a perfect example. Like, Spider-Man can't do a job, and let's say Spider-Man was buffed, where, how do I put this? Let's say Spider-Man was buffed, where his recharge rate for his fucking, like, this was so fast that by the time you shot it, you got another one. Or, like, they made it infinite ammo, or, like, you could shoot 3 of them, and then less than a second, like, all 3 were back. So, like, it's effectively, like, a bunch of them. You can run out, right? You can eventually, if you just kept doing this, run out. But they made it that you can recharge so fast that it does feel like a short, like, pistol kind of thing. And then let's say they made it, his ult tag people, like I said. His punch got buff range. He had a second cooldown for his get over here. Let's say he had all of that, right? And he was listed #1 on the tier list. But they buffed Namor to, like, do more damage specifically to him when he's in the air. Or do more damage to people in the air. I'm fucking cooked. Even though my character is good and I can skill around it, if that Namor is just as good and sticks to the side of his healer, and my team doesn't do their job and doesn't create distractions, doesn't, like, pick off people, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna have to swap.
Sure, those are bad
It's just the
guys.
truth. Even if Spider-Man becomes high ranked one day, even if he becomes high in a tier list through the competitive lens of like pro players and the best players in the world, right? Like legitimately high. There's going to be times where swapping is just the right choice because someone kind of picked you. There's a Penny Parker. Like Penny Parker isn't even like, I don't want to say isn't, but in a way,
Fight for the
her
good guys
mind's
next time.
activate when you get near them, and if you're playing Spider-Man, like if you play it like this. Wait, hold on. You can dip out if you're fast enough. Like, hold on. If I do this properly.
And stay down.
Like, you can be out of there, away from the mines. Like, you the total time you can spend on the ground, like, that you have to spend on the ground is so small that you can just dip out and just be gone. You know what I mean? You can't just go away and be done with it. Like, you can't just pop alt here. And if there isn't a fucking stack of mines just sitting on top of you when you do it, you can live.
Crack the whip.
You know what I mean? Like, so, in situations where, like, I can't be on the point, like, I swap all the time. Like, bro, this is why it's important to be versatile and understand how characters work on a fundamental level, or at least enough to, like, swap. Because I'm not saying, like, swap the healer immediately, because, hey, we could have enough healers. But, like,
No webs needed.
what I'm saying is, you could be like, okay, what do we need right now? Who's causing the issue? Their tank just won't die. Okay, probably a healer issue
Watch
then.
out, they're heading our
Alright,
way.
go get the healers. The healers are dying, but like, we're not moving forward. Our tank is being stupid, or like their tank is fucking our tank up. Go a DPS that can burst them down, or be good at your character. Like for example, Spider-Man, kidnap him. Alright. Cloak and Dagger, blind him. Mantis, leave him. Like, just be good at your character or counterpick. Those are the two choices. Alright? There's no in between. Play as a team is mandatory, but, like, be good or counter swap. And then be good on that. Because, here's the deal. You could, hold on, nah. Let's go over here. You could simply just go, alright. Swap Star-Lord, burn the tank down. Get your ult charge up, burn the tank down. Alright, it's taking too long. Alright. Our healers pop ult. Enemy team counter ults. Other healer pops ult after that. Enemy team healer counter ults, right? They go ban for ban with the ults. Do you know what happens after that? Right? They die.
In your face, loser.
Because you get to pop a free DPS ult. Or you can do it this way, where let's say they have an invisible woman, right? You can go high into the air. Right? Pop it. Invisible woman's gonna pop hers. And guess what? Now your healer ult is free. Now you can just simply push forward. And you be like, oh, but you're giving her ult by doing DPS to the tank. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Once she has her ult is full. She can't get extra ult. Once her ult is full, let me say it again. Once her ult is full, she can't get extra ult. The case where it matters is the other healer's ult. So let's say it's a Rocket Raccoon, right? On your team. Rocket Raccoon, Invisible Woman, and then Rocket Raccoon, Invisible Woman on the enemy team. Right? Do you know what that means? It's ult for ult. So, if you just simply tell your Invisible Woman, hey, hold your ult real quick, just hold it, just hold it, just hold it. Just let me get my ult off the other tank, right? And then you plan a strike where you pop your healer ult, the enemy team's gonna pop theirs, and then you just simply wait in the cut. Or, better yet, you can dive their single fucking value defensive ult healer, force it out of her, or when she dies,
I totally rock
you can just like alt and then walk forward. It's literally that simple. It's just the complication comes in the skill set. Like, what are the skill of the players in the lobby that you're playing with?
Double
Like,
kill.
Add that to my latest hits.
you know what I mean?
That's 3. Wow, 4 in a row.
It's honestly that simple. But I think I've gotten my points across. Hopefully I did. I know I said I was gonna make a conclusion statement. Did I? I think I was gonna make a conclusion statement like an hour ago.
Totally rock that.
But yeah, just to wrap things up, tier lists are overrated. It's really a skill issue. Stop like brainlessly following what these YouTubers are saying, and like, there's nothing wrong with what the YouTubers are saying. You're just brainlessly following them.
Oh boy.
Have some individuality. Play the characters you like. Think about actually how the characters work, and don't just go, well, I see these used the most often at pro player level, so that must mean they're the best, or like, that must mean they're like the best for the situation. I want you to know, even pro players have personal taste. And not even pro players, top 500, those are just people who are good at the game. Like, there's always going to be a top 500, like, person who plays the game on a certain character, right? There's going to be a top 500, like, there's going to be a world's best Squirrel Girl, there's going to be a world's best Doctor Strange, a world's best everything.
Hat trick.
So just play the character you like, and then find someone who plays that character, and then you just learn off of, like, what they do. Don't be like, oh, why are you playing Squirrel Girl? Be like, oh, I hope you're good. Just, if the sentence is like, oh, you're playing this character, I hope you're good, that's the proper one, not why are you playing Spider-Man.
3.
And best believe me, it's like, oh, bro, Spider-Man, like, why are you playing? Well, I guess that's bad because everyone knows how crazy Spider-Man can be for this plays and Black Panther. But like, let me look at the list. Who's fucking undervalued? Black Widow. They'd be like, oh, why are you playing Black Widow? Because I'm doing this. Right, I'm tapping people. And I like, the thing is, on an escort mission, on low level, when your aim is just okay, and like your teammates have a hard time finishing their kills, you can help confirm. But if your aim isn't like good enough, isn't like that, then like you're almost a detriment. Like, you should play an easier character, or like just swap until like you're warm enough to play Black Widow, or play some pubs. You know what I mean? Like, because I believe Black Widow is a good character.
That's 3.
Bogies, here they come.
Wow, 4 in a row. 5. That's amazing.
Enemy down.
Yeah.
Kill.
Plasma!
That's
Yeah,
3.
that's it.
Wow,
See y'all later.
4 in a row.
Target neutralized.